line.
Oh, pack of cars come piling in as well.
Jump. Coming light. Hello. Come back on him.
That was incredible.
Nobody better. Nobody. Hell yeah, guys.
Miles the Monster. I have seen him with my own eyes. I have come back from Dover Motor Speedway. And we're time for NWP with my buddies, Eric and Jared. Hey guys, how's it going? Time to talk about Denny Hamlin's win at Dover Motor Speedway. The SVG fun is over. Denny Hamlin reminds us who is really in control.
You face down the monster and live to tell the tale.
Honestly,
In fact, you're wearing him on your shirt as a trophy.
Honestly, he was not even the biggest thing there. There was a rubber duck that was bigger than Miles.
Wow.
All I'm thinking of is like, well, if there's a rubber ducky there, then you got to have even bigger Bert and Ernie.
Oh boy.
Oh man. No, but the trend continued though. Double numbers winning.
Yeah.
88 won on Saturday and double 11 won on Sunday.
So we feeling Joey Logano. We feeling Daniel Suarez, Carson Hocevar this week. What
Josh Bilicki.
Garage 66. Good old NBM.
I'm thinking more like just one series. We'll have a double-digit winner, and I think we know who that is in the truck series.
JJ Yaley, late entry. No, that'll be
yes.
But yeah, let's talk about Dover Motor Speedway. I had a fun time. If you guys haven't seen it yet, just posted the vlog today on our channel. Me and Claudia sharing our adventure. We're going to have another bonus vlog next week. Before we went to Dover, we actually went to New Jersey, another state. If you've been watching the Ryan Trahan 50 State Series, new state unlocked for us. Two new states unlocked with Delaware and New Jersey. We actually we picked some blueberries. We rode a ferry that took us from New Jersey to Delaware. We're basically out in the middle of the ocean for a little bit. You couldn't see land on either side of us, so that was pretty cool.
Wow.
Nice.
And then we also flew into Philadelphia, and we got authentic Philly cheesesteaks at 1:15 in the morning on a Saturday.
Did you fly into the good Philly airport or the bad one?
I didn't know there was more than one.
There. I'm pretty sure there is.
Chat, what's the good Philly airport? Or actually, no, more interesting, what's the bad?
I was at
airport?
the bad one because I'm, when like the schools, you have those ceilings that have the small little like almost foam pads at the top on the ceiling, and they get waterlogged. I was walking in, and one of them was so waterlogged, I thought it was going to collapse, and then I had to walk onto the tarmac to get to my plane.
Wow.
I don't remember which one. Whatever one Southwest flies into, that's the airport that I flew into. I know one thing. I was scared we were going to miss our flight back because we got in the TSA line. Literally, we kept walking around and around and around and around the hallways, like until we got in the back of the line. I feel like there was over 1,000 people in front of us.
Got to get that TSA pre-check. Hacks.
Yeah.
Best $70 I've ever spent.
That's the thing. Me and Claudia talked about that before. It doesn't do us any good because Nashville's airport is honestly the fastest TSA you're ever going to go through in your entire life.
I might have flown.
But think about it this way: every time you fly out of Nashville, you're also going to end up flying out of somewhere else.
Yeah, I know that. If it kind of seems like a waste of money, we're paying for just the possibility that we would go into a bad airport coming back. Our airport going is always going to be perfect.
I will say this. I did read recently that they're letting normal security now to keep their shoes on. So that is at least like 25% of the TSA pre-check perk. That's no longer a TSA pre-check. So you might be on to something.
Both of my last two flights, the one to Jamaica and then the one this past weekend, got to keep my shoes on. It's already implemented. It's already in effect. And they're talking about getting rid of the liquid ban too. So that'll play into effect a lot of things too.
Good stuff.
Anyways,
I'm still limited to 3.5 ounces or whatever.
Anyways, but before NWP gets through TSA, let's talk about Dover.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I flew into a airport near Philly, then probably not in Philly, based on what the comments are saying. Which
we flew into one in Philly. So
I've never been to Philadelphia or Dover for that matter. But Dover put on a show this weekend.
If you are going to
That's
go to
one
Dover,
thing, call
though,
it.
if you are going to go to Dover, though, you got to fly in somewhere like Philly or somewhere else because there's not a good airport nearby. Dover is the capital of Delaware, and I really was surprised of how small it was. It wasn't a big city in the slightest.
Well, it's a smaller state too.
Yeah.
I was looking on the radar when the rain was coming in, right? And I just like, you okay?
What are you shocked by?
There are more people. Hold on. There are more people in Prosper, Texas than there are in Dover, Delaware, according to official U.S. Census data.
That's funny.
How many? Was there a Rick Allen call?
41,000 in Prosper, according to the most recent estimates. 39,000 in Dover.
Wait, so Prosper, Texas gone up? It's a town of only 40,000.
Yes, it has. Google's showing me a spike. Oh my God, everyone's moving to Prosper. It's gone up like
ever since
people.
Rick Allen plugged them, they moved in by the droves up there, man.
That's the best advertising they've never paid for. My goodness.
Hold on. How many people did you say within Dover Motor Speedway? How many people did you say within Dover again?
39K, according to Google.
So Dover Motor Speedway can't even fit its full town. It has a 54,000 seat capacity as of 2022.
Can you imagine back in the day though? Because I'm assuming it probably didn't have as big a population in 2000s when they had like 140,000 showing up to Dover, and all of a sudden you're just like, wait a minute, that sound. You see like the giant caravan of cars and of motorhomes
the
and
circuses in
NASCAR
town.
fans.
It's funny.
Denny leading the way like this week.
Yeah. Sorry, one more side story. When we were out to dinner on Saturday night, we were at we just got off the ferry and we went to a seafood place kind of near the water, and there was this group of 5 over to our left, and one of their friends was British, and they were telling about, oh, here's all the things you should do. Oh, if you want to get really American, you should come here sometime when the NASCAR race is in Dover. And I looked at them, was like, hey, it's actually happening literally tomorrow.
Wait,
Yeah,
a British guy in one of the colonies?
Seems suspicious.
But yeah.
I mean, Denny Hamlin.
Hamlin. This will be our 4th attempt at segueing into Denny Hamlin talk.
We're doing it now. We're doing it live.
We're finally there. 58th career win.
Denny Hamlin. He has got his 4th win of the season, 58th career win. And as much of a headache as NASCAR has been to him personally, it's kind of funny to see him just go out and give kind of like the little poking the bear, be like, well, I'll just win your race then if you're going to do this to me.
Yeah, I mean he had to work for it. He was gifted the front row or the lead, the control of the restart when Chase Elliott chose to pit and other leaders chose to pit, but on older tires, he had to hold off Christopher Bell. Then he had to hold off Chase Briscoe. Multiple late race restarts. Fresher tires getting closer. I mean, he just shows why he's so good. Experience matters, and it's he has obviously a ton of experience. But what I think is most impressive about Denny is that in his 40s, he's still getting better in a weird way. That's how it feels. Like coming into this season, a lot of folks wrote him off, saying, "All right, Chris Gabehart's gone." FedEx is gone. Truex is gone. So now Denny's the oldest driver in the series. And all he's done is prove all the doubters wrong this year. He's putting together maybe his best year since the COVID year, you might argue. And I'm just really impressed. He's just technique, resilience, using the tools of the next gen car to block his like just using everything at his disposal to win this race when honestly I thought he was in trouble when he was the only guy not to pit.
I do think part of that reason, I think about someone who's been in the sport similar amount of time. Kyle Busch, he's definitely fell off, and we can all start to admit that at this point. They're similar in age, and I feel like Kyle Busch peaked in 2019 when he won his last championship, and he was about, according to Google, about 34 years old then, and then we started to see him falling off. Well, Denny Hamlin, on the other hand, has continued to not seem any different, aside from he hasn't won a championship yet. I do wonder if part of that success is being a team owner, him, being around it a lot more than other people in the sport. Does that play into effect in him, knowing what to expect from the equipment?
might be part of it. I mean, a lot of people this week talked about him being a student of the game and how much like he basically studies racing, and you have to think that probably plays a factor in meetings when it comes to Toyota 2311 on top of everything with the 11 team. I always have the list on me. I always keep track of the all-time wins list. And it's just crazy to me. I knew he was up there in 11th, but it's just how close he is to breaking into the top 10. I mean, he's 2 away from Harvick.
He could do it this year. He could do it this season.
5 away from Kyle Busch, like for 9th. He could be 9th by this time next year.
If he is to get the championship monkey off his back, I feel like he does have to win enough to break into that top 10 win column.
Yeah. I'd agree.
I'm just impressed, kind of to what you just said a moment ago, Danny, though, is like, not only is he still at the top of his game, but when guys like Kyle Busch, even younger drivers like Chase Elliott, admittedly will say, hey, we've struggled to adjust to this next gen car. Hamlin hasn't made that excuse. Now, maybe the next gen does naturally fit his driving style better than those, but Hamlin was successful in the Gen 4. His rookie year, he won a couple of races. He was successful in the Gen 4, the Gen 5, the Gen 6, and the Gen 7. And I don't think we can really say that about anybody else. Like other drivers, okay, that's not true. Chase Elliott's still successful, but I'm saying like other drivers who were successful in the Gen 6 have slipped a bit. Denny has not. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like Logano, even. I know he's won 2 titles, but his regular season numbers were better 7 years ago than they are now. Chase Elliott, even Kyle Larson. I know that first year at Hendrick gave us unrealistic expectations, but he hasn't been able to match the dominant 2021. I give Denny Hamlin so much credit for being so adaptable, especially this late in his career. I just think there's a lot of like Martin Truex Jr. at this point in his career was already on a fishing boat, like he was one leg off on the dock, So like Hamlin, his continued commitment, I think deserves as much praise as anything.
Yeah. And because here's the thing, one thing individually about this race, because I think people write off Hamlin because they don't like him, because he's brash, because he says stuff they don't like, or, in general. I saw a lot of that, like, oh, yeah, stop, just glazing him and saying all this other stuff, but it's true. And I think he should be commended for how well he understands this car. I mean, that's why he won. He won this race because he understands how this car works exceptionally well. Aero block towards the end. I think on the other end, though, there is that conversation to be had that whether it be Dover, whether it be anywhere else, a car on ancient tires probably shouldn't be able to hold off ones that are on very new tires at the same time. And I think that's a conversation that they don't have to mutually be exclusive of either Hamlin's really good or Hamlin, it's just lucking into it because of how the car is. Because you don't luck into 58 wins. But that's the other end of it that I'm kind of like, this sucks about this race, is that it was clear as day, just like last year, the air is still such a major, major factor compared to even the Gen 6 car. There have been people that are all over comment sections, like in the poll I have, and I've seen on Twitter, who are like, man, I want the Gen 6 back, and we need this. Like, well, it isn't good either, y'all.
Yeah, Dover on fresh tires or shortly after a restart, a clean Dover is a 1-groove high-speed oval. And we saw this at Pocono when there was aero. I remember Pocono, Chase Briscoe was saving fuel and nobody could pass him. Like that, this car, you need multiple grooves to make passes. And until the track gets rubbered in, that's not an option at Dover. So I think that all the short runs at the end actually played into Denny's short or older tires, because the track was a 1-groove track. It was much easier to aero block than it would have been on a long run.
In the beginning of the race, especially more so in stage or after the competition caution, 48 of Alex Bowman, he was actually getting a ton of good speed and making passes that other people weren't making at the start. He was one of the first people to really try the outside groove a little bit. And I was talking to Jarrett a little bit about this. I feel like, and Eric, I know you were actually tweeting about him too. His car seemed to unload up a lot of speed, but to the faults we give Elliott's crew chief, Alan Gustafson, Alex Bowman fans have also been giving a lot of grief towards his crew chief as well. And it just feels like they unloaded with a lot of speed in that car. And I even watched him pass Denny Hamlin on speed in stage 2. And they still fell off in stage 3 because they can't make the right adjustments that he needs to continue carrying that speed. I was listening to his radio and said, and towards the end of stage 3, his car actually tightened up a lot, and they couldn't adjust to that to continue to give him the similar speed he was having. He still finished 3rd, good points day for him, but to me, kind of like why I picked him, I felt like all of Hendrick did everything they could to give him a lot of speed, unloaded a fast car at one of his best tracks, and for now, they seemingly blew their best shot to win and lock into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about a few of the other notable finishers because I did see that with Bowman, and I saw a similar progression for Kyle Busch, who ultimately finished 11th, but he drove into the top 5 in that long stage 1 run. And that was the difference, is that run from the competition caution to the end of stage 1 was like 80 laps, give or take. It was the longest green flag run of the day. And so by the end of that, and there were no pit, I think maybe it was less than that, because I don't think there were any pit stops. So it was like one long continuous run. I could be wrong.
Tires were blowing at the end of stage 1 because of
Yes.
how long it was.
And also the groove widened out immensely because there was no caution. There was no time for them to, pull the rubber off the track. So the track rubbered in 4 lanes, lots of options. And that's what led to so many comers and goers. And you're right. Alex Bowman was one of the guys coming towards the front quicker than most. But when the race became short runs, other teams had times to adjust. You're right. Bowman struggled to, that team struggled.
He had a much better long run car than he did a short run.
That's where I think if this race had if they'd had another long run like stage 1, maybe it would have favored him a bit more. But you're right. We can kind of talk a little bit about the Gibbs versus Hendrick, because for much of this race, those 8 were the top 8 running in the running order, which I thought was pretty insane. I mean, Larson, credit to Larson. I know he's had an off few weeks. He started towards the back, drove up to the top 10, then the top 5, ends up 4th. Like even he was in that top 8 sort of lockdown for most of the day.
Well, and I think all 4 of each team at one point did have top end winning, or at least top 3 speed. We saw it with Bowman early on. Byron didn't get the finish because of the crash, but he had that speed too. Kyle Larson at one point was the fastest on track towards the end of the race. Elliott, I think, was the best one out there. And then you look at the Gibbs side of it, and of course, Denny won. But
and that's what makes the Chase Elliott or Alan Gustafson. I mean, it's kind of a mutual decision to pit there. That's part of what makes it frustrating, because I think if you'd put any of those 8 in Denny Hamlin's position at the end of this race, they would have had a very good shot of holding on to win. I think Denny had a better shot than most because I think he's a better driver, frankly. And I think William Byron's great. I think Chase Hamlin, I think, is a little bit better, a little cagier.
I think Elliott had a better car, though.
Yeah, so maybe you're right. That might offset. So that's what makes it so frustrating, to your point, Jared, is the Hendrick and Gibbs cars were so good. Whoever had the track position late, regardless of tires, was probably going to win. But that's not how Gustafson and Elliott saw it, apparently.
I told Danny I was hanging out at John's because we had the e-ticket after the race, and both him and I at the same time, when Elliott came down pit road, both were like, "What in the hell are you doing? Like, you're giving up the clean air. You're getting, like, I believe he only got 2 tires instead of 4. Like, everything about that call was wrong, in my opinion, in that moment. Like, everyone's Monday morning quarterbacking it after, but like in the moment, I'm like, no, don't give that up, because you have the clean air. You can aero block. You have the best car. Like he was like everyone else, that group of 8, those other 7 were like all clumped together. And then there's Chase Elliott 2.5 seconds out front of him. Like,
yeah, he still finished 6th, but he definitely had top 3 speed. I feel like your 3 best cars all day. Briscoe got 2nd. I don't know if he's necessarily a top 3, but your 3 best were Hamlin, Elliott, and Bowman, in my opinion.
Well, I'll be completely honest. When Elliott chose to pit there, I didn't necessarily I didn't see it as, oh, that was a big mistake immediately. I thought, ooh, that's a risk. But at the time, there were about 60 laps to go, and this had been a race full of long green flag runs. I thought if this goes 60 laps or close to it green, Chase was restarting, I think, 3rd, 2nd row. I'm like, okay, worst case, he settles into 3rd, but with at least 15 to 20 lap fresher tires, his car seemed good enough. I thought he'd be in a good position to chase down the leaders. But obviously, then once we got out there, I'll say this also about Chase Elliott's car. he probably had one of the top 3 cars. I don't think he necessarily had the best car. I think it looked like the best car because he got the pole via qualifying being rained out and had that clean air from the start. I think, frankly, if Denny Hamlin had qualified on the pole, he probably leads 200 laps as well. That'd be my guess.
Fair, Elliott did pass Briscoe very early in the run because Briscoe got the lead at the start. And Elliott then tracked him back down and passed him and passed a few
which
cars.
Is another probably reason Gustafson said, hey, let me put my driver on offense rather than defense. That's my other thing is drivers say all the time, I'd rather be on offense. I want to be the aggressor. So I can't, in the moment, it's easy now to look back and say, damn, clean air mattered a lot more. Why'd you do that? But in the moment, I'm like, he's going to restart third with slightly better tires, maybe the best car, 60 laps to go. If this goes green, he's going to have an opportunity to charge up there. So I didn't hate the call in the moment. In hindsight, it does look bad because you ultimately, the guy who took your position went on to win the race. So that makes it look like it was certainly the wrong call.
And then, of course, then there's Bell, who just slides away multiple times.
I was about to say, he found a way to spin in the front, climb his way back to the front, and spin again.
He went from there's I'd rather be lucky than good. He was lucky and good and still managed to grab defeat from the jaws of victory.
He may have honestly had equal speed to his teammate Hamlin this weekend and just couldn't stay out of their own way.
I know at one point they talked about when he was back in traffic that I think they loosened him up. Did they ever go back on that adjustment? Because that could have made the difference at the end.
I just remember him saying during the red flag, he's like, yeah, that was that first spin. That was my first time restarting with clean air. So I overestimated. I'm like, oh, okay. So then for him to be in clean air after the rain delay and make the same mistake, I thought, it was the, fool me twice, shame on me kind of situation there.
You guys probably saw this better than I did. And Eric, I was telling you a little bit about my experience at Dover. One thing that's cool about Dover, on the roof of the media center, something that they have at Dover, I've not seen at any other place, literally have this like kind of spotter stand, if you will, for media people to just go up there and have a place to watch at least a little bit of the track, what you can see there. So all I saw was just them suddenly coming out of turn 4, and then just here's Bell sliding off. It looks like he's already loose as can be. So I didn't really quite see all of what happened to him.
I mean, he just got loose. I think in both cases, he just slipped a little. And the second one, the one at the very end of the race, it looked like he was, I think he even maybe said that part of why he, overcorrected the way he did was to not wreck his teammate. I think he had said, I think they kind of explained that if there was, if it was Logano next to him, he might run him into the wall and just run them both into the wall and hope for the best. But
Logano would have done the same.
Probably. But because it was his teammate, I think Bell overcorrected. Once he was slipping, he's like, I can't wreck both of us here, and just spun himself out. And unfortunately, Byron, that's when Byron and Noah Gragson, who looked like he was maybe going to squeak out a top 10 finally, got caught up in, which sucked. But yeah, Bell, you know what they say, you got to have talent to lose it. He did run out of talent a couple times, but we know he's a good driver, just not a good day by his standards.
And I believe the same top talking point about like not spinning your teammate. I think that's exactly the same thing that Chase Briscoe said about he could have raced him harder kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I get it that like, you don't want to wreck your teammate. You don't want to race people too hard. You don't want that reputation either. But Denny Hamlin has done this a bunch of times. I mean, let's look at his battles with Kyle Larson, how many times he squeezes somebody out of the corner.
But that's not
more often than not, he wins.
I'm trying to think of a time Hamlin's done it to a teammate. I'm sure he has at some point, but I'm trying to think. Carl Edwards knocked Kyle Busch out of the way for a win when they were teammates. I'm trying to think if Hamlin has ever run it. Let me know, Chad. Has Hamlin? Maybe there's an obvious one.
I think Denny, if he were put in the position of Bell or Briscoe, would probably race them a little harder than they raced him.
The moment with Kyle Busch at Charlotte, sure, that was 15 years ago, but yeah, sure. I guess.
and his patterns have not changed into the 2020s.
I suppose. I was also an exhibition race. I guess. I don't think Chase Briscoe's thinking about that in that moment, though, and nor should he be thinking about something from 15 years ago. But you're right. Briscoe could have been a little more aggressive, but here's my counter argument: is Briscoe's still the new guy at Gibbs. He's had a pretty good role lately. I mean, he finished second the week before that, won Pocono a couple weeks before that. A win would be great. He's not desperate for a win now. He's just desperate still to be accepted as the new guy at Gibbs. I don't know what his deal looks like, what his contract looks like beyond this year and next year. To wreck himself and Hamlin there would be really, really, really bad. So I see both
Leos
sides.
in the chat says, in the 20 car with Matt. Did you ever do that to Matt Kenseth? I can't remember off the top of my head, but
Nothing egregious that immediately comes to mind, and that makes me think, oh, what was he doing? I mean, give me a track, give me a race.
I want to see, though, when he's not the new guy. Like, I want to see him have that killer aggression.
I think also in the back of his mind, remember when he wrecked Hamlin at Indy 4 years ago at the road course?
Yeah,
we
we
just
were
took him
there.
out. Yeah,
we were there.
I mean, he's to be for the score. If I had to imagine, the score between Briscoe and Hamlin is already uneven. He doesn't want to make that even worse.
Never know what that win's going to mean, though. By the end of the year, though, that's the big part of it too.
On the note we were talking about, Bell spinning out. Bell probably wishes we wouldn't have finished this race after the rain hit.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he probably likes on the one side, he probably likes he had a chance, but finish wise, at the end of the day, yeah. I mean, I will say this. So in the moment, I was wanting to race to end earlier because I had an event I was doing later that night, and I was like, as soon as it got rained, I'm like, I was sitting with John, and I'm like, you watch this thing, so they're gonna keep it going. It's gonna be like a 1 hour delay, and then put us up against the window.
I mean, it was literally the quickest shower. It was in and out before you can blink.
But completely objective, though, totally the right call to try and get that finish. And it's proof that when you don't have Fox breathing over your shoulder about the fog on the track, that NASCAR, when they have the opportunity, will finish the race. I'm
sorry, what's TNT going to do? No, we've got to show this old movie from the 2000s we've had scheduled to come on after the race.
Classic movies. The fact that it only wound up being about a 1 hour delay was great. When it first started pouring, like some of the heavy rain, I know it was only for a few minutes. I'm like, oh, this is going to be 2 hours at least for 12 laps. Like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm down, but like, oh, okay. So I'm glad they got it done in less than an hour. I saw they were showing, maybe they did like a pre-race spotlight on this, but they were showing at least on pit road, like a fire breathing dragon, like going up and down pit road. Like absolutely. Like, we hear about, they have jet engines in these trucks and stuff. This looked like I saw that
scorching
the surface.
I took some pictures of it. It literally was just a flamethrower going down pit road. It was wild. I've never seen that before.
I have not seen that either. But I thought that was kudos to them for getting it done quick.
I was like, is that thing broken or is that new? I've never seen this before.
It was interesting.
But I just, again, props to him. Like, there's been so many times where we're like, oh, this race could have finished. And I'm just, with the technology they have to clean the tracks off, to dry the tracks, with that. I wish they had that, like with my first race. Because when my first race was in 2006, it was Michigan. It rained for like 20 minutes. And then as we're walking out, the rain clears out and it's sunny the rest of the day. And had they had the technology they have now, they probably could have finished the race. So it's stuff that, we don't think about on a regular basis, but it's like, it is amazing just how far they've come in 5, 10, 20 years from what we used to know. Because I remember a rain shower like that back in the day, closing in on sunset, like it would take probably an extra hour to dry that track.
Yeah, no, it's pretty impressive. I'm glad they got it in. I'm like you said though, Danny, Christopher Bell may not be, but if I'm Christopher Bell, you live by the rain, you die by the rain. That first rain shower saved his race. So what do you guys think of the rear view camera debate this week? Because I know like they talked about it too after Denny being able to look back and aero block and all of that. Because I know Kyle Busch had an interesting take on that. Yeah, Kyle Busch had said essentially he kind of tongue in cheek was like, drivers should get to choose, either they get a spotter or they get the camera, and but you can't have both. Obviously you would probably need the spotter because there's larger safety ramifications. That's why it was tongue in cheek. So the reason for the camera, if I recall, was because of how the greenhouse in the next gen is, where the driver sits. Am I not mistaken that it was the visibility out the rear using a traditional camera was worse? I
They
thought that was the
said-
original reasoning for having a camera set up was because physically it was harder to see out the back from inside the cockpit. I thought that was the initial reasoning. I could be wrong.
know that's what they
Basically
said.
that a mirror is just too much stuff is inside for you to really see anything correctly.
I would assume something like I've never sat in a next gen car, so I can't speak to it, but that's what I thought I remember them saying. So like the driver needs something to be able to see behind them a little bit. Does it have to be a crystal clear 4K, rear view camera? Probably not. Could they get away with the little like side view mirror that goes like next to the window net? Maybe that's all they really need. But
Sure.
I kind of agree at this point. They probably have too many tools to play defense with.
Cars are going to have, in 10 years, we're going to have drones that follow them so they can look down at the screen and watch them race in chase view and just like, okay, here we go.
So honestly, it feels like the direction it's going. Honestly, I'm in team make it as difficult as possible on the drivers as possible. Take away the rear view camera, all right, like take away the every driver can see your SMT data, like all of that. Like in my opinion, that I get that, everyone's like, oh, we need to keep pushing. Technology only pushes forward, but it's like at some points, maybe we just need to, as Danny's
I'm
struggling.
sorry. I'm just having the visual now of drivers at Talladega looking down at a screen inside a chase view, and all of a sudden they get right hooked and they watch themselves go into the wall and then bang. I'm just dying laughing at that visual. Like they're just looking at a screen, and next thing you know, they just suddenly realize, oh wait, that's me. I'm crashing.
There's somebody out there that can do like really good animation or like decent enough animation that needs to make like a 3-minute skit video out of that.
Well, TNT during one of their segments had a drone like chasing like a pace car around the track. And I remember thinking like this, I literally thought to myself, this is like real life video games. Made me think of the GTA Carson Hocevar thing they've shot. I'm like, this looks like I know it's real life, but this looks like the chase view in a video
What
game.
it reminded me of is when there was that Monday Night Football game and it was too foggy out for them to get the normal overhead shot. So they basically did the Madden shot where they went behind and it was the coolest freaking thing. But going back to what we were talking about, I would be all for, they have to listen to their spotter. Like, I don't want to go full SRX and like no spotters, no mirrors, like screw it. Just go out there and run what you like brung. No, like there need to be some safety measures with the spotter and such. But I want there to be a little more delay in the defense. Defense is so much more of an advantage at a lot of these tracks right now that I think you need to go back and forth. Plus, I'll be honest, I wasn't a big fan of the mirror or the camera, I should say, to begin with. So
I don't like that they're allowed to move it around. Like I wish it was still up where like a traditional rear view mirror would be.
I'd be cool with that.
Instead, they're putting it like down here. I'm like, the physics don't work that way. Hold on. It's supposed to be a mirror.
Okay, I'll do that as a compromise. Get rid of your SMT data, but put it up where the mirror's at, so you have to look.
So it's a little more difficult to. Maybe that's a compromise.
There has to be a little bit more delay with it, and sometimes they'll crash. But that's auto racing. That's defense. Sometimes you throw a bad block.
Yeah,
I'd be all for it.
I'd be okay with that,
guys. Something else has happened. It's a dang tie show.
Ty Dillon has done it.
Yeah.
Well, he hasn't done it yet. I mean, he has one more race to go.
And so has Ty Gibbs. It's literally the tie show. We have tie fighters, if you will.
We used to have the Dale and Dale show. Now we have the Tie and Tie show for freaking 19. I'm kidding.
The only way this could be better is
GOAT,
if it ended in a tie somehow.
I mean, it can. Technically, it can end in a tie. And then it would go off of whoever ran positions. I have like a 5-minute video.
They will revert to the tiebreaker, spelled TY breaker.
Well, Ty Dillon should win. He was the tie longer.
It's age. It's just age. That's a tiebreaker.
I gotta say though, I think it's awesome. As soon as he got the lucky dog, I was like, oh my god, Ty Dillon just has to make it one lap and he's good.
32 seed against what was Ty Gibbs, a 6 seed?
I think Ty was Gibbs. Gibbs was one of the top seeds coming into this tournament.
Should one of us just, Eric, you're the lowest in prediction points, because should you just say a man named Ty will win this weekend?
Knowing my luck, there'll be some. Well, now technically the drivers aren't getting paid, so the real winner is going to be a guy named Joe or a guy named Matt Collig. So
Did the drivers even know that? Because they all talked about it like, I could have $1 million or this or that.
I'm sure they all get a nice bonus if they win it, but I don't know.
I feel like, I guess, they were saying that the drivers, but at the same time, like, wait, why should we be surprised? The all-star race, the team gets it. Like, this is just an all-star race, essentially.
It's all about marketing and branding. They like to brand it as the driver. And yes, the driver will get a chunk of that, but I don't think, I could be wrong. Do drivers ever get to keep all of that money like that? Let me put it this way. I'd feel funny as a driver keeping the whole $1 million. Like, you're not going to share that with your pit crew, your spotter, your crew chief.
Ty Dillon on his own is not the reason they're here. It's a team effort.
Yeah, I feel funny. The normal splits that they do for stuff like that. I just say, I noticed, like, there's been so, like, as much as we're having fun with the GOAT story of Ty Dillon, just 32 seed. I mean, this is basically like the Rudy of NASCAR at this point. Totally. I've saw so many other people who are getting unreasonably angry about this. Like, I think NASCAR and TNT have mismanaged like the marketing for it, or like how to set it up with the seating, stuff like that. There's stuff to improve. I don't get why people are so angry about it. Like, I like it. It affects nothing.
It's not necessarily that they're angry at this per se. They're angry at the idea of more gimmicks. I think that's what they're really angry about.
This is just, this is the modern version of doing like the no bowl.
I know it is, and we all know it is, but there is a certain portion of NASCAR fans these days that are just so over anything that's just not, it just takes away from the individual races going on.
Anything that's not 95 to 05.
I mean, yeah, basically that's the crowd that is the most vocal about this, and there's no denying that. Yeah, it kind of is.
But I don't see any harm in it. It doesn't affect the points.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect
Alex Bowman felt some harm at Sonoma. I mean, it was only one position, but still. But that's what makes it so fun, is that in a few key moments, Bowman versus Bubba at Chicago. Dillon, why is Bowman in their loss? Dillon versus Bowman at Sonoma. There are brief moments where you can tell they're racing each other differently, making bold moves, in part due to the format, due to the tournament.
People would have more reason to be upset, and I pray to God they never do this, but if they said the winner of this gets in the playoffs, then they would be able to be mad.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I totally right. I'm 100% with you. The thing is like, going into this, that we knew TNT was going to have the 5 races set up for this, and it was just they were going to put Atlanta first to shake it all up. And then
that was a mistake, because as fun as it's been to follow these kind of dark horse stories like Nemechek and Ty Dillon and such, like, it'd be nice if there were 1 or 2 big names still in it by the time you get to the final 4.
So instead, just since Chicago, we'll talk about in a bit, is not going to be the 4th of July anymore, I'll just put Atlanta on that one. It'll be the second round of it. Then you don't have to worry about it. TNT still gets their hometown race on a big weekend that they can market. Like,
I want to say this before we move on. Like Ty Dillon's put together one of the best 4 race stretches of his career. He has a 16th place average finish during this tournament. Top 20
man wants it.
Like, that's legit. That is really good for that equipment and what it's done the last few years. On the same note, Ty Gibbs, just before and during this tournament, has flipped his entire season around. He's gained like 12 spots in the points, and his average finish, I looked this up during the tournament, is 7th place average finish the last 4 weeks. So it's not just luck, a little bit of luck for sure, but it's also these 2 guys are performing the best they have all season. So they are rising to the occasion. So it's kind of fun to see that these, Ty Gibbs obviously drives for a great team, but these are kind of B, C tier storylines that have become the A storyline for a couple weeks. And that's fun. I like that.
Does the Ty Gibbs one perfectly coincide with the changes on the top of the box?
Literally, I think so. I think it was when did they first announce the Gabe Hart edition? Because it was like a week or 2 before that. He'd had some good runs, but then the moment they announced, hey, Gabe Hart's helping out, he's been like top 10 every week. I think he has 3 straight top 10s, and I think that was when they announced Gabe Hart.
I'm trying to look for it. The chat probably will get it before I do, but it feels like it's like lines up perfectly.
So Ty Gibbs, and it actually gives a good chance to kind of ease our way into the playoff cutoff line. But I'm going to give him an honorable mention. He has climbed himself up to 19th. Ty Gibbs is 52 points back, and definitely quietly getting himself there. You didn't have a guy who made a lot of noise, especially in the middle part of the year. Carson Hocevar, he was contending there in a number of races. Well, he's 26, 125 points back. So he just had some more, I don't know, last year moments, but then the rest of the season, well, he's just been down there. So,
but by the way, they're saying most of them are saying Pocono. I saw Dirty Def say Mexico. So around the prime side of things.
It's about the last 7 races. I think it's literally 7 or maybe 8 races. He's been top 15 in like 7 or 8 in a row. And I know Pocono, I think, is when they first introduced him as being on the box. And I know in the 3 or 4 races since, I think he's been top 10 every single one. So yeah, Gabe Hart's absolutely had an impact. It's not a coincidence.
No. Yeah.
I don't know how Ty Gibbs did at Indy in the last couple of years.
He finished 23rd last year.
I
don't remember if something went wrong though. There were a lot of wrecks.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I feel why I feel Ty Dillon can win. It's different track, but I think of Pocono that year when he just had the chocolate milk coming out of his car, and I'm like, do I trust that Ty Gibbs will have a car that's going to carry him through that big of a track?
So I'll go back to last year because he started 6th in that race. And one of the things I look at too, when I can't remember every detail, and I know everyone at home's will be like, how can you not remember this detail that happened on lap 34 at the 2024 Brickyard 400? I mean,
how could you not, Jarrett? We all remember that.
I was too focused on Elliott barely going over a line. I remember that part. I know all the people that say I hate Hendrick are going to use that as ammo too. But Ty Gibbs had a 72.1 driver rating, which when looking through the field was about middle of the pack. So and that was around when he started going kind of off. I'm on driveraverages.com. They have statistics for each track.
That site is slowly becoming better than Racing Reference, in my opinion.
Because NASCAR's nuking Racing Reference. That's another conversation. So I mean, it wasn't like he ran exceptionally well. I'll ask this, because it's similar driver ratings to them, and there's one outlier here. He was worse driver rating in race last year than Corey LaJoie, than Todd Gilliland, who finished 6th.
Well, I just want to know because I think Ty Dillon was top 20 in this race last year, or not last year. He didn't run this race last year.
Yeah, did.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let me pull it back up. I just went off it. So
I believe he was top 20,
19th.
Yeah. So he beat Ty Gibbs in this race 1 year ago. It's possible.
I'm just looking at the driver ratings again, and Ty Dillon has like the 8th worst of last year.
Brutal.
I'm not gonna even try and hide it. I'm rooting for Ty Dillon to win this. Like, I want him to go on a bonsai crazy strategy where like everyone pits with 15 to go and he stays out front and just falls back to 9th and somehow locks it up. Like, I'd be all for it. I don't need Ty Gibbs to crash. I don't need him even to finish bad. I just need him to finish behind Ty Dillon. I'll be a happy man.
By the way, this is just a side note. We'll get to Super Chats later, but someone just said in our Super Chats that we should check out Luke Combs' latest tweet. He's posted just Friday, and it's a little short 35-second clip of looks like a little collab of Dale Jr. Dale Jr. is going to be in a music video or something like that.
Yes. Yeah. I know Dale Jr. was hinting at that before.
God forbid a current driver get in a mainstream music video.
Yeah, they had that Post Malone one with Bubba and Denny.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And back in the day when Auto Club was still a thing.
I don't think we're gonna get Chase Elliott in no country music video though.
You get Ryan Blaney though. I tell you what, Ryan Blaney.
He would.
Yeah, because you can get babyface Ryan, you can get scruff Ryan, you can get big beard Ryan that's out at his hemp farm.
I hate to expose, the private conversations like this, but me and Jarrett were talking to Peter about, like this Blaney or someone like that said something. It's like there's literally no reason for him to not be the most popular driver. And then I think Jarrett, what did you say about Chase?
I am not saying that because I'm going to get everybody after me for a joke I said in confidentiality.
Okay,
it was not inappropriate, but I was not expecting to be exposed like this.
It's not a bad thing. Basically, that he
I called him
show a lot of
Plank
emotion
from Ed, and Eddie.
Yeah,
but to be fair, that's a Hendrick thing.
Richard Petty's apparently in that music video too. Again, no current drivers.
They like seriously? Okay, that one I'm like, I get Dale Jr. There's a little relevance here, but
best we can do is current team owners.
Yeah, my goodness. Maybe he's buying into Legacy Motor Club.
Get Denny.
Denny wouldn't do country music, I don't think.
Probably not. But he's a team owner and a modern driver.
Yeah, he ticks off the boxes.
I want to see Brad Keselowski getting down. Just kidding. I don't want to see that.
No. I was just.
Although the the phone commercials he does where he's like got his sleeves and ripped off and everything.
Real quick, hey, defense Chase. Terry B says Chase sang on stage with Brad Paisley.
He sang on stage. Does someone have a video of Chase Elliott singing in front of a live?
Here's
audience?
the thing. Chase Elliott's public persona has been made to be like, flat milk, right? It's just that you're like just water. There's no taste, right? But it's like when you actually get Chase to be himself, he's really freaking fun to listen to. Like I go back to that Nashville race where he wins the race and right in front of all the people that work there, he's like, we shouldn't be here. We should be at the fairgrounds. I don't know why we're here. The fairgrounds is better. And I'm like, more of this. I love this.
In terms of the Hendrick drivers who will publicly show their personality, I think it goes, no one pays attention to him, but Bowman won, then Kyle Larson, then
Chase over Byron.
Come on. Byron's just the whatever him and
you remember when we did that interview with Byron and you could tell he had just rolled out of bed at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was like, man, that dude's living the life.
Side note, I love that in the San Diego announcement, we'll get to that NASCAR referenced the Sabrina Carpenter stuff in that.
Yeah. Yes. This has to crescendo in them meeting at some point. The NASCAR side of the internet would go nuts, and then she could write like 3 different songs about how William Byron uses her like she does every other song. My wife listens to Sabrina Carpenter, so I have to.
That's okay.
I'm trying to find any evidence that Chase Elliott was on stage with Brad Paisley, and I cannot find any.
You're lying.
I'm not convinced. If someone can find me a clip of Chase Elliott singing in front of a live audience, I will. I was about to say I'll do whatever the top comment says, because we don't get that many comments on the VOD.
Ooh.
Within reason, obviously. Nothing incriminating or illegal.
Skydive naked from an aeroplane.
That sounds illegal. I'm pretty sure that's public nudity. I have to land somewhere.
Go to the Gulf. They can't see you there ever, Bear.
But I'm convinced no one will find me a video of Chase Elliott singing in front of a live audience, and I will be able to sniff out AI.
So you're telling me we can catch a CEO in his affair at a Coldplay concert, but we can't find this magical clip of Chase Elliott singing somehow. Had to find a way to.
I mean, are you talking about Connor Zilic and Jesse Love? Because I saw them at a Coldplay concert. I love the internet fully united, like against these two horrible people. Because I'm sorry, like I don't know anything about them other than they cheated on their spouse with that had kids with them. So I just absolutely love the internet. It's like, you know what? It's time to ruin your life.
Claudia and I unironically like end up listening to Coldplay while we were driving this weekend just because we forgot they actually have some pretty good songs.
Yeah,
like one of them's become a NASCAR meme. When you see all the washed up drivers, you're like, I used to rule the world.
Yeah. Oh man. You want to look at the cut line while we're still talking about Dover?
Yeah, and I was actually talking pretty good about Alex Bowman, and look who's magically not on this list now, thanks to where he's done.
Yeah, he's got a big cushion. Gotta feel pretty good. But again, if we get a new winner, all of a sudden it's
He's back.
Busher, it's Busher on the cut line. It could still get tight, but
the thing is, I was actually asking him after the race, I was like, this is probably a race that he had circled, but guys like Hamlin, if they'll go out and win those, and now SVG, if he just wins all the road courses, kind of just makes, anything can happen at Richmond, as we found out last year, but it really makes Daytona seem like the only true wild card now.
I feel like there's one that we're not thinking of, and Daytona's going to have the chalk winner. Like, I don't know why. I feel like Daytona's going to have somebody who's, already won, like a Hendrick or a Logano or like, a Byron. And then
Richmond was unexpected last year.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be Watkins Glen personally, unless somebody takes SVG out. But Iowa could
go
be
for
weird.
his kneecaps basically to make that happen.
He gets another flat tire on the first lap like this week.
For real, we might think SVG will win. We could be shocked because did we see Chris Buescher winning that last year?
No, we saw him probably running top 3 after how good he's been at road courses. But the fact that he beat him head to head, but at the same time, pretty sure it was a colleague car that SVG was in, and
big difference between colleague and trackhouse cars.
Yeah. But at this point, it's Bubba and Priest I'm looking at as like, this is probably going to be the battle the rest of the way if there's no new winners, because I really think Buescher is going to stay ahead of him. I think that team's been showing too much speed to fall back again.
Priest at Daytona is either going to be trying his best to win or seeing how high he can fly.
He's not on that graphic, but I will give Kyle Busch an honorable mention because I think he's minus 39 points. It's a lot of ground to make up, but he has 3 straight finishes of 11th or better. And I know a couple of them are road races. That's been his one area of expertise this year. But I'm just going to say that Kyle Busch won't completely count him out yet.
What did you guys think, speaking of Kyle Busch, what did you guys think of that radio catch of Pop saying, we need to get some race cars. This is terrible.
You just now caught on, Richard?
Well, buy some race cars then. What are you doing?
He just woke up, I guess. It gave me Jerry Jones, just sort of.
I know. He's literally Jerry Jones in NASCAR now.
Yeah. No, that honestly is. It's an exact comparison.
His glory days were Dale Earnhardt and
his
Hart.
glory days were the 90s. Yep. He's been trying to get back to the 90s ever since then.
And they popped up every now and then. It would be interesting. You could probably see like the coinciding of the Cowboys and Richard Childress Racing's ebbs and flows. Because
they both hire their family into jobs that they may or may not be fully qualified for.
Side note, just look at the name of the most recent super chat.
Uh-oh.
God damn it.
I can't wait. I'm not going to spoil that one. I'm going to read that later.
But that's the thing with Richard Childress Racing is the thing with them is so frustrating to me is that ebbs and flows. It's an up and down fall. Whereas Roush, for the most part, it was a linear fall down from grace. You could literally see the number of cars diminishing, the performance diminishing, the caliber of driver. With Richard Childress Racing, it's they still were good in 01, and then they went down in 02, and then they were good in 03, and then they went down for a few years, and then they had these years in the chase for a couple of years, and then they went down a bit, and then they popped up a bit, and then they went down, and then they get Reddick, and then they popped down a bit. It's so frustrating because they get the pieces in place and then they just squander. And you know what I think part of it is, and I know everyone's going to probably roll their eyes at me saying this, and it's not for the reason you're thinking, it's Austin Dillon. Now, it's not because of his necessarily performance, because I think he's honestly running where those cars should, whether it's 16th for a couple of years or 30th this year, but it's because that 3 car has been held now for 11 years. And you just have to think of this too. How many drivers of a better caliber than Austin Dillon have went through silly season, and there was a ride that was being taken up by somebody who they could have probably got somebody else in there and maybe put somebody else better with Ryan Newman and Paul Menard or Tyler Reddick.
Austin Dillon now is in his 3rd straight year of being around 30th in points. His only good track is Richmond, and they went from 2 to 1 Richmond dates.
And you
so
know
why
what?
is he still there? Honest. What
you know what?
does he bring?
The one thing we know he did really well is be the voice in Richard's ear to tell him, get Kyle Busch. He can help our team. And based on how they talked and based on the first 13, 14 races of 23, he did pretty damn well at helping improve that team. And he's noticeably better than Austin Dillon every single year, as he should be.
Yeah.
Austin Dillon is 35 years old. His brother Ty is 33. Austin is the same age as Joey Logano. Both of them are 35 years old. Massive difference in careers for both of those two. I mean, I know he's not really in a retirement age, but man, I just feel like if he would step into the business side of that place more, they would be in a better place.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably, I mean, how many drivers over the last 3 years alone that have went through silly season, not even stars, but have went through silly season that probably could have performed better? Like, do you think Josh Berry could have performed better than Austin Dillon has the last 3 years? I think so.
I'm not sure based on Barry's recent performance, but maybe.
He's got a win that didn't involve trying to murder 2 people.
Yeah, that's true. Austin Dillon.
So, I mean,
there's some blood on his hands.
a red right hand. I'm just saying, like, I think at some point Austin is going to probably make that decision sooner rather than later. I mean, remember the rumors last year was that Austin was possibly going to retire.
But now they've said that both he and Busch will be back next year. Now that could change, obviously, but right now that's the plan.
But it's like, okay, no offense to these two. If you're going to hold up the seats, what the heck are you doing with Jesse Love and Austin Hill, keeping them in Xfinity hell?
Well, they're trying to buy that 3rd charter.
And Jesse Love might be going to Legacy or some other team. He might be joining Toyota again.
But that's the thing, is that there's that bottleneck. And so anytime they get talent, there's always the challenge of, like, how are you going to get the team filled up?
Reddick gets swiped out from under them. Love might get swept out from under them.
Harvick chose to leave because he saw this coming.
Yeah. That's the damn reason I'm leaving RCR.
Well, I mean, think of the talent they've had since, just think since like 2010. In the last 15 years, they've had Kevin Harvick, Jeff Burton, Clint Boyer,
Paul Menard.
Paul Menard's a Brickyard winner, man.
Don't you dare disrespect Paul Menard.
Oh, shoot.
I'm kidding.
I'm sorry.
But
no,
Ryan Newman,
all you want.
Okay, people disrespect Ryan Newman. And we,
No, Newman's good.
He's
nearly won a championship.
Yeah, probably top 50, top 60 driver ever in Cup, roughly. Sure. I mean, I think he had like 18 wins.
Yeah, he's top 75 for sure. Maybe I have to look at the list.
If Tyler Reddick, you're wasting Kyle Busch. Like, the talent, the caliber of talent they've had is not bad. Like, and they squander every opportunity because of either Richard's refusal to change or nepotism or you name it.
And I know we're way off topic and we need to move on, but also remember that RCR played a role in the development of those original next gen prototype cars.
Good.
So they were, when 2022 came, first year of the next gen, RCR was good. Reddick won 3 races. I picked him to win the freaking championship that year like a freaking idiot because he was so damn good in the regular season. And then 2023, there was still some magic. Kyle Busch wins some races early, but since middle of 2023, their advantage has disappeared and they've been unable or unwilling to invest in what they need to invest in to get it back. So
there's rumors of why RCR was suddenly so good by Darlington and Richmond last year. And
I do hear they made a new hire recently.
I mean, maybe they need to do the legacy path and just hire directors of XYZ 1, 2, 3 divisions. And
director of this specific shock on this.
Like,
we are hiring a director of get us back to where we were of Dale Earnhardt.
But I mean, look at we'll talk about it later, some of the reckless speculation segment stuff here. We'll preview the rumors. I mean, there's rumors of colleague working with Ram next year. What do you think that's going to lead down the line? Like, not ECR engines, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's
that's another big wrinkle of the whole thing is Childress makes their own engines. They have their own engine shop, and Colleague, their drivers have been pissed at those engines. Trackhouse, their drivers have been pissed about those engines. Like, so the next gen car is the spec car, but the engines aren't. And maybe that's where Childress needs to dedicate more time, energy, and investigation.
Or bite the bullet and just fall in line with the rest of Chevy.
Yep. Go buy Hendrick engines, pay whatever they charge. Yeah, I don't know.
Which would probably seem like sacrilege to a 90s Earnhardt fan.
Yeah, I don't know. Yes. Tough pill to swallow, perhaps.
3 cars taking the 24 engine.
I mean, I sometimes I wonder with the way RCR is today, were they really as good as we give them credit for, or was Dale Earnhardt just that good?
No, I've argued Dale Earnhardt was just that good.
It's a lot of that. They had some great crew chiefs. I think, but even in Earnhardt's day, in some cases, they were a bit streaky from year to year. So
Yeah.
I think it's always been a little inconsistent.
Am I getting my Dillon Hurt history confused? He went to RCR after Osterland, and he actually left because their performance was going down. And he came back. Is that what happened?
Mhm.
Yeah, because
Richard told him to leave because
he went to drive the Fit the 15 and didn't do that great there either. I don't think, but then he eventually came back.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see RCR do well. I know we're dogging on him, but it's like the 3-car running 30th out of 36 full-time cars is unacceptable.
Yeah, well, the imagery of the 3 and the icon that is Kyle Busch. I want to see both of them do well, especially since Kyle Busch is still at the tail end of his prime. Like I admit, I accept that in 3 years, 5 years, Busch won't be all that great, perhaps. But until then, I think he's still got something in the tank. So I want to see him have a piece he can work with.
I mean, I'm going to be going to Daytona, and I need to get a new driver shirt. I ain't got a new driver shirt in a long time because I'm going to sit in the stands for that one. I'm halfway tempted to think, do I get a Bowman or do I get a Kyle Busch? Because I really want to see him win Daytona one last time.
I'm not making that decision for you.
Yeah.
I wore
how many people?
I wore a
Did we just lose
shirt to Martinsville because that was the last time I was going to see him race.
He froze for a second, but I think he's back.
Out.
He's back. We're good.
I think the audio isn't sync. Oh, it's synced now. I was about to ask how many people watched Kyle Busch drag that RCR car to up to the top 5 at a point.
I don't know.
He might be lagging still. I can look at the rate. We can talk about the ratings.
Yeah, go for it.
Go, since I'm not catching up, I guess.
So the Cup race on TNT earned 2.09 million. 2.009 million viewers, which is down 16% to last year's race. That was also on cable, I believe. Last year's was on USA Network, I think. Is that? Oh, that's right, because it was earlier in the year. So it was earlier in the year, FS1. But keep in mind that there was a 1-hour red flag at the climax of the race this year, which hurt their viewership. They reportedly lost 27% of their audience during that red flag. So, ratings down a little, but probably closer to flat without the rain. Xfinity continues to be on a tear with the CW, earning 1.047 million viewers. This is the most viewed Dover Xfinity race in 9 years. It's a 20% increase from last season. And a lot of folks paid attention to the IndyCar ratings this week in Toronto. The Xfinity Series was on top once again. So network TV, promotion from the CW, and frankly, a solid racing product has continued to drive impressive Xfinity Series ratings. I think Danny's caught up, but it's time for Jarrett to go over the famous iceberg poll.
Yeah, and I realized I didn't update the numbers today.
I was thinking like, oh, that's so low for the poll, and then I saw you changing it. Real quick. Just on that note of beating IndyCar at Toronto, I just gotta say, being at the media center, it's sad not seeing Bob that much because he's basically locked into IndyCar, and I'm like, Bob, you're missing out on all the fun of NASCAR to be there.
Tough.
He got to see Canada.
Okay. He did say that it was like his 3rd week in a row in like a 3rd different country or something like that, covering racing. So he's good for Bob. Stretching his legs.
Danny, if you're back, what do we got with the poll?
10,000 people voted on the poll, the famous iceberg poll. And of the 10,000 people, 9% of people said it was a great race. 57% said it was good. I'm kind of in that category. So 66% of people had a net positive rating on this race. 27% of people said it was average, and 6% said it was a negative race.
And I'm looking back here, and that would rank it tied as the 3rd highest Dover race ever on the poll.
The bar is low for Dover, isn't it?
Yeah, because this would be the 9th Dover race polled. So yikes. That's more a yikes on Dover than a yikes on the race.
What's the most popular Dover one?
Sorry, hold on. I just closed it out. Where are we at? There we are. The most popular Dover race was 2022.
Okay.
74%.
Is that the one? Did Chase win that one?
I think so.
I was going to say, I don't know if it beat that or the 21 when Bowman led the 1, 2, 3, 4.
That one is tied with this one at 66%. So it
Gotcha.
goes like this: 74, 72, 2 is 66, then 55, 35, 33, 30, 29. It's been rough. It's been very rough for Dover. To be fair, though, the worst of the worst are all in the Gen 6 era. All of them above 50% are, other than 2021, are in the next gen era. So there's that. Let me find first comment. It was from Spencer. So positive, negative, or meme?
Spencer Barcella, I assume is who you're talking about.
Yes.
I'll go with a positive. Sometimes he can meme, but I'm gonna go positive.
Go negative.
Boy, Miles the Monster was absolutely hungry at the end there, and he got his appetite for the weekend.
That's a meme. That's a good old meme right there.
Solid.
Let's see the comments here. Triple P Production said, Ty Dillon made it to the finale. If Ty Dillon wins a tournament, we will be buying the diecast if it gets made.
Oh my God, they need a tournament winning die-casted, like collector's edition.
Well, if they do one, it'd probably be like those championship ones where it's like on the roof, it just says champion. It'll just be one of those. Just a generic car with that on the top.
I always want to just find the generic car without that when I look up the champion ones now, and you never can after like a year or two.
Yeah, I think I got the from 2019, the Kyle Busch one and the Tyler Reddick one, but I couldn't get a Matt Crafton one because he didn't win that race. So it wasn't a race win. You could only get the one of that on the roof, and on the trucks are so much smaller of a roof that it looks ridiculous on it.
Law Pug said, anyone else hoping Ty Gibbs' engine goes full chocolate milk mode next week?
I think
or
it will.
just me?
Brutal.
I think it will.
Akshay Talk says, I miss when tires used to matter in NASCAR. Jason says, really miss the old car. Mudkip says, Dover just highlights how awful the racing is with the diffuser. So everyone's been like the whole comment section is ripping on the car. But Goober, I think it's Goober Me, said 8 out of 10, good race, boring and predictable winner though. Can't please them all. NASCAR Sam said, can't believe Elliott took the bottom on the second to final restart. What a boneheaded move. Then we get to the gutter. Those weren't the gutter. Let me clear my voice out, get it all ready to go. Alan, not Alan Gustafson, but Alan here says, this race sucked. Little to no passing at all, lack of tire wear, absolute snooze fest prior to the red flag, and 3 wrecks to end the race. If a green-white checker had kept it going, I'd get a lot harder on this race. Get going a lot harder on this race. 3 out of 10, bad, not good, horrible. Something needs to be done about the tires and the cars.
I at least appreciate that it's clear they watched.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They at least watched the race and came into with the critical. Like, I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. No, I if they're negative and give downvoted, but have a clear and concise reasoning.
Yeah, like I wouldn't have downvoted. I may not fully agree. I mean, I agree partially. I don't feel as strongly as they do, but I do. But I wouldn't have downvoted it.
That's what Urban in the chat says. That's kind of sort of factual, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't control what the chat downvotes. Jay here says, once again, overrated Hamlin. Arrow blocks his way to another win, and the media is going to hype him up like he's the freaking god when he's not.
Oh my God. Someone just sent me something on Twitter DMs.
Oh boy.
You keep reading. I have to look this up. You
Okay.
keep reading.
The lowest one was from Yvonne, who said, sick and tired of Dale Jr. and Steve Letarte talking about Hendrick cars. Gibbs cars are running for the win, not Hendrick. Stop being stop showing favoritism.
Hendrick cars were running for the win too. They had they had all 4 like running right behind him at one point.
But that's the poll. And the comments.
Before we move off the cup race, Bryson just sent me a link to a Instagram post from 6 years ago of Chase Elliott singing Jingle Bells.
Yes,
in front of a small audience. He is on stage, sounds half drunk. He is singing. I don't think we can pull it up, but he is. And to be fair, the caption says it's Chase Elliott. It kind of sounds like him, but the video is like it was filmed on a potato.
See, if this was 6 years ago, that's before I feel like he lost a smile. If you
Oh my God! And they say I'm the one that hates.
Before he
Elliott.
lost his
I'm
smile.
no, I'm being serious. If you, I met Chase when he still drove the 24 car. He seemed like a whole different person in terms of like he was always happy to meet people. It felt like.
Holy hell, man! Damn.
I'm being honest. I'm being honest. I see him now meeting fans, and it's just emotionless, just walking in the motions.
Jared, I did just DM you the link. I don't know if you're able to pull it up on the stream. I think it's safe to play.
I just need to.
I don't know if you're able to. If it takes too long, we can move on.
I can give it a shot.
Why are you booing me? I'm right, chat.
The lost his smile was a crazy comment.
You're like someone killed his dog or something.
If you met 24 car driver Chase Elliott and compared him to 9 car Chase Elliott, it's a different person.
Thing is, I just need to make sure that. So this is a YouTube short here.
It appears so, yeah.
I just need to make sure that I have like nothing incriminating on my screen to screen share it. But I'm looking at it.
It's okay if you don't want to share, we can move on.
Let's see. Maybe how about this? Maybe later tonight I can get it saved and like sent over, and then I can put it on. But
so stay tuned, chat, if you want to hear a very blurry, low quality potato version of Chase Elliott singing Christmas carols.
We should have Eric dress up in a chicken suit.
Maybe a chicken suit.
Wait,
maybe I'll dress up as Santa Claus. I'll put another fake beard on, and in like next week's show, I'll dress up as Santa. That'll be my.
I mean, it is. I mean, to be fair, it's on your channel.
All right, we'll do it. We'll figure that out. Although I do want to see what the top comment ends up saying. If it's within reason, I will consider it.
It's gonna be like, eat 30 glizzies before you go live.
Halloween is on a Friday this year. It's not on a Wednesday, but we need to actually for Halloween this year. We need to dress up as something this year, like the show closest to it.
I'm sure. I think I still have my Kyle Busch costume in the closet.
It can't be NASCAR related.
Oh, okay. Well.
Oh, okay. Now we also got to. I have to think of
put on
we lost Danny again.
Vikings outfit.
Oh, dude, I've been there. It sucked. You want to look at Xfinity real quick?
No.
Well,
thanks for asking.
Well, that was like almost as it's like I got cut short there, just like the race.
Yeah, I think the only real takeaway from this is Connor Zilic winning. I mean, yeah, it's rain shortened.
What's that average finish up to now?
Oh God, it's
close to. It's in the last 8 races. It's like 2.1 or something like that.
I'm gonna look right now. I'm gonna
because it was 2. I think it was 2.25 before this race, so it has to come down a tiny bit. I mean.
All right,
and it's rain shortened, but he did lead the most laps. He qualified good. Like I'm not going to say he didn't deserve it.
+4.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy that he's this good on ovals this quickly. I know he's in a good car, but like, I don't know. It still should be taking longer than this.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me double because I think it was 2.4 heading in.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
What it was. So
now it's 2.25.
Let me be sure. Yeah, 2.25.
There we go. Okay.
Jeez, he's the avatar.
John Riggs mentions in the chat, don't forget about Our Motorsports. Yes, this was supposedly their last race.
Yeah. Originally I thought, Casgarella was gonna finish their season. I didn't realize he's gonna finish their season this weekend.
But I think we can say Chris Wright finished Our Motorsports in reality.
I think Chris Wright was the death blow. But there had to have been problems with that team if they were desperate enough to get Chris Wright for the money.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You live by the Chris Wright, you die by the Chris Wright. I suppose
they died all right.
You had to be in a tough spot.
I feel like them losing Anthony Alfredo hurt them a lot because he brought them a ton of funding, honestly.
Stable sponsorship and stable results, more or less.
Again, America beats communism.
Mm-hmm.
There was and then in the chat too, Danny Rick Bobby says there's also the rumors of Carson Kvapil to Penske.
Well, I haven't seen that one. Where'd that one come from?
A lot of them are from the rumor nostalgia page.
What car would he even drive? They got rid of their Xfinity program.
I mean,
Is he taking over for Cindric in 2 years?
Well, we'll probably get to it late. Well, not this one specifically, but later. But there seems to be a lot of rumors of movement to different teams and selling off of certain assets for others. Like there might be some real movement in the lower tier series soon.
Oh, I've just thought of this. So I don't know with Penske. I don't know how safe like they are per se with some of their own drivers that might get better opportunities depending on who retires next few years. There's been some things that are just rumors per se. There's nothing to them by any means, but
Ryan Blaney to the 11. What are we talking? What's this?
Yes, exactly. That's the rumor.
I knew Logano was going to the 48. Oh man.
You want to look at the Xfinity points real quick?
Yes. Let me make sure that I get this out of the way. And then, I mean, just saying, Harrison
still Burton versus Burton. I'm still very impressed. I'm impressed with both Burtons, actually.
What was this? I think they said it on the broadcast that Harrison Burton hasn't been like any further this year than 20 points in or out. Like he's been that consistently in the hunt for like being inside the playoff cut line.
That sounds about right. I could believe that. That's very impressive.
How that team's been, man, like last year and how just lost they were. And some of it, of course, on Deegan, but that is a hell of a turnaround.
It really is. And I'm happy for Harrison that he's, I think, like after 3 years of underachieving in Cup, now here he is in a situation where it feels like he's overachieving. Like the narrative has changed, and I like that for him.
I don't know what can come of this, but how good Harrison Burton has done in this equipment. And you see Taylor Gray is there at 11, so he might barely make the playoffs. But then we know what Sewalch is doing. Is there a way Harrison Burton can find his way back into JGR equipment? Because I enjoyed watching him in their Xfinity program.
It's true.
I know it's very low hanging and he should be better, but I mean, William Sewalch got another top 10 this week and actually was running decent enough. Like
he's had a couple good races in a row. Maybe he's figured it out, but yeah,
maybe if Sam Hunt Racing wanted to actually have a full-time driver, maybe William Sewalch is a better fit right now.
I mean, he'll have the money, that's for sure. The thing is like if he starts running top 10, he's already running around where Taylor Gray is, right? And at that point, could he be that one that shocks everyone and just pops up and gets a random win and just completely throws a sledgehammer into this whole conversation?
Daytona, he won Cup last year, so
no, Sewalch.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about Harrison Burton still. No, I've been saying about Sewalch. He is in JGR equipment, and I'm not going to doubt that he can't win until the season's over because of what he's in.
I will say it is the weirdest thing watching the Xfinity series, and JGR is like just mortal.
He's in the 18. Specifically, the 18 feels like that is the flagship JGR car. That's the one that, as Eric would say, a monkey could win in that one.
A monkey.
It's not the exact quote, but yes, I appreciate the callback.
I think that's become more of a meme. I saw them putting monkeys in the chat at one point.
I was watching Godzilla and King Kong on the flight back, and I was just thinking in my head every now and again, monkey.
Monkey.
Oh man, I think all this monkey talk and all, but we should probably go to the first super chat stage break, right?
Yep, that's a good spot for it because we are a little past the top of the hour.
Yeah, I got you on a time.
First one comes from Indy Carson 2025. He's been very active now, so I appreciate that. Appreciate the $1.99. Danny, how was Dover race weekend in person? It was very good. Did just drop the vlog on the channel today, so if you haven't had a chance to see that, go check it out after the podcast tonight. Spencer Purcell, appreciate being a member of Danny B Super Fans for 49 months. San Diego, happy SoCal resident noises.
Do you see Ellie Productions and his Instagram story just put that scene from Madagascar where the giraffe goes down, just goes San Diego.
I didn't say that. Next super chat, $1.99 from this weekend's Grand Marshal of the race, Cookie Monster. Me boo, Kevin Harvick and Alex Bowman. They stole me cookie. Hashtag me stand with 2311. We all know who's behind this account. Thank you for the $9.99 from Calypso. Oh, how Indy's weather forecast is my paradise. What? I can't quote Coldplay now because of recent events? That's nothing. You should have seen Davy Jones' reaction to me and Jack Sparrow together.
The lore, man, the lore.
Getting deeper and more troubling.
Irvin Alvarado, appreciate the $4.99 from you. All hail the DPR NASCAR, Democratic People Republic of NASCAR. We know what's right for fans. We tell you all happy things of NASCAR and spend money.
The creativity is astounding.
At first, I thought that was going to be an hour motorsports bit, but it was not.
No. Hunter Nixon Fishing, appreciate seeing you as always, and appreciate a very generous fitty from you, Hunter Nixon. Appreciate that. I don't have a problem with people defending the playoffs. My problem is when you see tweets from people that say people overwhelmingly love and want this format when that couldn't be further from the truth. I know exactly what this is referencing to, and I'm right there with you, Hunter. My biggest problem out of all this is not necessarily if people want to have a discussion. It's more or less getting talked down to as if we are the problem. I don't like that.
Or pretending that there is no debate.
Yeah.
You know, and we'll talk about this later. But yeah, like that impression that like it is what it is. The format is the format, for example. That's like you're trying to say there's no debate. Or everyone loves it. Like I'm with you.
Name drop a little bit because there's no way to avoid this conversation about it. I was really disappointed in Danielle Trotta, not necessarily if anything regarding Mark Martin, but more how it seemed like she was talking down to Mark, to the people active on X. It just felt like she was talking down to them the entire time in all of her statements afterwards. We'll have. Let me get one more, a couple more here.
Okay.
But thank you for that, Hunter. That's a really good topic, and we're definitely going to talk about that more. I can't end with this one. Herbert the Prevert. Appreciate the $1.99. Oh, do I got to do the voice? Okay.
Do the voice.
I stand with 2311 too. Hashtag I stand with 2311. Then just 99 cents from I stand with 2311. No comment.
Great.
We will end with this one. Napa Racing Fan 927. Appreciate the $10 from you. R.I.P. Ozzy. May he go off the rails on a crazy train into the heavens. Paranoid Mr. Crowley may bark at the moon in his honor. I don't know. It's a shot in the dark. No more tears, because Mama, he came home.
That one hit hard. My dad used to, when I was a kid, he, because Illinois is just farmland. So he'd take me on these long drives. I remember being 3-4 years old, and he'd play Ozzy in the car when we were driving on top of everything else. Or like we'd be going up to my grandma and grandpa's, and he'd be playing, Black Sabbath for me when I was like 6. I loved it. So it hits.
Sorry, that's a much better one to end on than Herbert the Prevert.
What's your guys' favorite Ozzy Black Sabbath song? Like if you had to pick one, because I think for me, and it's again one of those ones that sticks out as a memory, is Over the Mountain. And it's because I remember in 2009 my dad driving us to Minneapolis to see my first Vikings game. And we were driving like 110 into Minneapolis, blaring Ozzy, and Over the Mountain was playing. And it was just the perfect freaking song to play as we're going through there.
So my early exposure to Ozzy Osbourne, frankly, was Guitar Hero in the late 2000s. And Crazy Train was on World Tour, I think. And that was one of the most fun songs on that entire game. So that's a basic answer. I think Mr. Crowley was on one of the Guitar Heroes as well. And so those are probably my top two. I don't think those are Black Sabbath per se. I think those were released. I think those were just released as Ozzy songs. Yeah. But I really like both. I think Paranoid might be my favorite Black Sabbath song.
Or War Pigs. I love that one.
Yeah, I was going to say War Pigs for me is probably my favorite one.
Let's see the chat. Dumas puts Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath.
Oh, Iron Man. I guess that's a tough one to beat
course.
too. Shoot, I forgot about that.
God, I listen. So like I've been doing a new routine now. So I get up at like 6 a.m. and go on a run every morning now. And today was an hour-long run, and I actually have exactly 1 hour of just Ozzy's stuff on his own on my phone. My dad's probably watching, so proud of me.
I will say, I know like a couple weeks ago, he had that massive send-off show in his hometown with so many guest metal and rock artists making appearances. Looked insane. To go out like that, essentially, is pretty heavy metal. I mean,
yeah,
I was listening to one of the local sports radios, and they were talking about Ozzy a little bit on there, and it's kind of comparing it to I think Alabama's legendary head coach Bear Bryant. I think literally he passed away only not even that long after coaching his final game was scheduled to be his final game, and passed away. Like his definition of literally doing something you love until you die. I think it's programmed had bad memories after the fact, but Joe what was it, Patino? The Penn State coach.
Paterno.
Paterno. Yeah, I mean, tainted program and as a whole after that. But he again was one of those coaches that he stayed in it until he was literally about to die.
Well, and the coolest thing too, I think, underlying all of it, outside of course, the awesome send off, is it set the record for the biggest charity concert ever at like $220 million for Parkinson's research. So
that's impressive.
Yeah, so it's a metal concert that won it, man. That's the best part. Prince of Darkness got the win. But yeah, I'm gonna be listening to Ozzy for months now, just on loop. That's how I've been getting the kid to sleep too. I've been playing Ozzy for her. Oh man,
your kid's gonna be a metalhead.
Oh, I hope so. But
it's all fun. It's all fun and games until you've got a goth daughter one day.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see when we get there. It's probably not good to have a metalhead is in a thunderstorm, right?
Yeah. It
would
not be safe.
It's the lightning round. This show
is Riss is gonna kill me for that comment.
If she's watching right now, she'll probably come through the door and be like, "What the did he say?"
She knows where I live.
Oh man, let's go into the lightning round. There's actually
all up to the Lundbergs.
Yeah, of course, and it's all good. Let's go. There's actually some stuff in the lightning round as we're kind of going off the crazy train tonight. The Reds and the Braves are actually going to be wearing NASCAR themed uniforms for the Speedway Classic at Bristol.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they got like
nice.
One of them, I think it's the Braves. It's like they have the flames on it, and it's kind of like one of those cheap knockoff hats. But then the Reds, I gotta admit, like this is a guy who's a Cubs fan. The Reds ones look really, really good.
I think they're also gonna have Dale Jr.'s light model that's helping promote that game too on display at somewhere. Sure,
and he's racing it too, I think.
Yep.
And then that's also kind of falls into the next thing here of Bristol Motor Speedway will be in the MLB's new game coming out on July the 29th, meaning that in the last 4 years, we've had more of Bristol in baseball games than NASCAR games until, of course, like September.
It was 2016, but EA Sports, come on, just put it in. I want to relive the battle at Bristol.
So home run derby at Bristol win.
That's right. That's what I want to mess around with.
Christian Eckes will be back in the Truck Series for 2 races, Richmond and New Hampshire.
With McAnally Hildeman, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the Bristol thing, while they have it set up, why do they not get the Savannah Bananas? Those guys sell out like anywhere they go. They need to get them.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll surprise us. I don't know.
Coming this week, we have been hired as the marketing team for the MLB. or Bristol. Charlotte Motor Speedway, on the other hand, has confirmed that it's going to be having temporary lighting for the Xfinity race on October 4th because the start time has been moved from 4 Eastern time to 5. This according to Dustin Long of NBC Sports. And speaking of NBC Sports, NBC Universal is discussing the creation of a cable sports channel debuting as early as this fall, according to Adam Stern. One could say it's an NBC Sports network.
Welcome back.
NBCSN.
We're partying like it's 2019, baby. Let's go. And of course, as we remind you all earlier, but remind you again, we will be on Eric's channel next week, July 30th, the day after Bristol will be in the MLB game, at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So should be a lot of fun. And I believe that does it for the lightning round. All right. I think that just leads us right into the headlines anyway.
Yeah, and we got some pretty fun things to talk about for this one. We got 4 total topics, so let's get right into it. Guys, we're going to San Diego.
We're going back to San Diego, Naval Base Coronado.
NASCAR returns to Southern California.
It checks all the boxes. I was so like, it's so weird because we've heard about this for weeks now that this was going to happen. And in the last couple, we've learned, it's probably going to take place at the naval base. But somehow, some way, when I woke up this morning and saw the official announcement video, which was a cinematic masterpiece, found out some of the details. Somehow I was like hyped for it. Like I didn't know it was coming. Like, I just think this chick checks every box. Like I'm hard pressed to find a genuine major complaint here. Like it just does it's replacing a street race essentially with Chicago off the schedule. So there's no, it's not taking Bristol off the schedule or anything like that. It's sunny climate, should be good weather, fingers crossed. Checks the Southern California box. It's close to a major market and it's just in time for America's 250th birthday celebration. You got the military backdrop. Like it's perfect. Everything on paper about this seems perfect.
It seems perfect, and it is until you factor in that 250th celebration. I'm like, the president's going to come, ain't he?
Maybe.
It'll make it bigger. Shit, I don't know.
It'll be huge.
Yeah.
I'll say I was looking because when it was announced, I was actually perusing Reddit, and I was going through the comments, and of course, like they're excited like I am. The video was awesome. And I love like we said, that they had the Sabrina Carpenter thing. They had
a lot of inside jokes.
Carson Hocevar being like, "Why didn't we bring SVG?"
Yeah,
like I love the announcement, right? But when I was going on there, somebody linked the announcement to the r/San Diego subreddit. And it was a bunch of people that didn't know anything about NASCAR. And it was funny because you could see the NASCAR fans starting to go to war with the San Diegoans. And one of them said, because there's the naval base nearby, they're like, I don't see why we should be suffering and putting at risk our national security for a NASCAR race. And then somebody goes, they're having 100,000 people there the next week for the 4th of July, you dolt. So all I have to say of this is stay classy, San Diego.
I got a friend in San Diego, so I'm hoping I can maybe get him to come out to the race. I'm gonna try if I can to go to it. I have more excitement about going to this than I did for a Chicago street course, in all honesty.
So that's the thing. Like, I love Chicago as a city, especially to visit. I think it's a great place to visit, especially in the summer. So I went to the first 2 Chicago street races and I was excited, but I will admit that on paper, there were concerns with that race from the start. It was the first street race. Weren't sure how that was going to work. Also, the race was in the center of the busiest part of the city on one of their busiest weekends. Like, there were questions and concerns going in. That's the thing about the San Diego announcement is, I mean, other than, I guess, maybe national security concerns, which sounds like a big deal, but I don't think it really is. Other than that, I have no concern. My biggest concern here is getting say 40,000 fans on and off that island. I could see traffic being kind of bad.
Well,
that's about it. That's about all I can say.
They do celebrations like for the 4th of July, like where they'll have 100,000 people there.
So they must know how to do it. They must know how to handle it. So
because that was what the one thing when like they started announcing it and I started hearing the rumors, I'm like how are they going to make this work? And then I realized it's kind of almost built for a lot of that too. And you know what I really like about the San Diego side of it, that Chicago couldn't have this, that Los Angeles couldn't have this, that like even Cincinnati wouldn't be able to have this, because I know they've been a smaller city, but one that's been rumored for a street race, is that there's a real, and you can see it and hear it still online. While they have the Padres, there's a real sports void in San Diego right now after the Chargers have left in the last decade or so.
And the Rockets left in the 60s.
So here's actually something cool. I'm looking at the map of the Coronado area. There's actually a ferry that goes and connects you over to the island. So that's another alternative way to get over to the island that race fans will have.
I think this is a great idea. I think it's going to be really cool. I actually like that it's a couple weeks before July 4th, because it can kind of be like the kickoff to what could be a country full of 4th of July celebrations next year. So I actually like that it's not going to be crowding that same weekend as everyone else.
I don't know what airlines go into it, but it's insanely close to the San Diego International Airport, actually.
I went to San Diego last year for the first time ever, and I enjoyed the city. I went downtown, went to the Gas Lamp District, or I forget what it's called, and it was nice. Like I've been to LA a lot, briefly lived in LA. I didn't really I wouldn't move back to LA. It's just too crowded too. I don't know. It's got parts I like, but San Diego, I enjoyed San Diego. I enjoyed my time there. So I'm excited to see NASCAR in town.
It's actually quite a good distance away from LA, in all honesty.
Yeah, it's like 2 or 3 hours south.
But it's basically the last city until you get to Tijuana, Mexico. So
it's right on the border.
So you know, I saw somebody else say this too, is like who are they going to have like a special guest, you know, because while he's been at races before, obviously it's not San Diego, but like LaDainian Tomlinson is a legend in San Diego, right?
There's one obvious answer, right?
Phillip Rivers and his 500 kids.
I was going to say Cole Trickle himself with the Top Gun Maverick crossover being at this Navy base. I feel like Tom Cruise.
What if we had Will Ferrell as like a mix of Ricky Bobby and his character in Anchorman?
Oh, that would be great.
If they don't, I'm just gonna say Tom Cruise has to be top of the list. If they have not already reached out to Tom Cruise's people, that they've missed the mark.
I mean, by then, like Days of Thunder 2 could get rolling. They could be part of the promos.
It could be filming stuff. It could be filming stuff right there.
Legit be filming. Yeah, I mean
that's what F1 did with Las Vegas.
I'm sure Jeff Gordon has his contact info. Just ask Jeff for the phone number, give him the deets, make it happen. And that makes too much sense. I mean, they filmed Top Gun there a few years ago. That was a massive hit. They could be filming Days of Thunder 2 this time next year. Like the Tom Cruise connection is too obvious to pass up. They got to get that on his schedule pronto.
Yeah, one of the things I think is really cool as well is that it's all 3 series are going to be there. Because I so wanted to see one of those years with Chicago, the trucks at least have a shot at it.
So is my only thing there. Yes, as a fan, I think it's awesome that all 3 are there. The more the merrier. Trucks could put on a great race. I just wonder, I don't remember if we talked about in this show, but the Front Stretch put out an article a couple weeks ago quoting several team owners who are like, you know, I don't know if this series is going to survive. It's getting too expensive. Look, they point, I think it was Dalton Hopkins wrote it, and it was field sizes have shrunk. And he pointed out that Las Vegas had only like 30 trucks in the field this year. And team owners were saying it's expensive to go out to Las Vegas. So I'm like, damn, we're going to send the trucks all the way to San Diego for a road course race, which honestly probably isn't their best style. Like Lime Rock was a terrible race. Let's just be honest. It was boring.
Well, here's the thing with this confirmation. And then the rumor of Sonoma, maybe they rework the schedule, have Sonoma be the week after this. So they're in the same area.
Sure.
But if that happens, I have no idea how they keep Lime Rock on the schedule.
Yeah, that's my only thing is I like logistically, I don't want this to be like a break the bank deal for a lot of truck teams, but maybe they up the purse, maybe the sponsor, you know, interest is that high that it makes sense. I hope it works because it's fun to see trucks involved. But that was my only, like, when I saw that, I was like, oh, really? And the trucks.
And so this is going to be in the middle of the season in June. Is that what I think we said?
Yeah, Father's Day weekend.
Yeah. Okay. So you talk about does this get rid of Lime Rock? Does it also possibly eliminate Portland in the Xfinity series because you're sending them out there in the middle of the year?
Is Portland even on the schedule this year? Am I an
Yeah,
idiot?
it's Southern 500 weekend for Xfinity.
Oh, I didn't even know.
The trucks are noon Eastern at Darlington now.
I know there was already a big, complaint from some of the smaller Xfinity teams have to go out to Portland. This would really be just another wrench and all of that.
Yeah, I could see this replacing Portland potentially, but maybe not.
That's the thing with the Portland side of it with Xfinity this year is it almost doesn't make sense. Like, why are we sending them all the way out to Portland to race during Southern 500 weekend? Why it feels like it was just sort of shoehorned as like, it's the last date we could put them in kind of thing.
It made more sense when we could pair it with Gateway. We didn't have to have all the series at Gateway.
Yeah, which I guess they could have probably done that if it was Gateway's, I think, the next week.
Yeah, but now Gateway's a playoff. Well, no, so is Darlington. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. But no, I mean, I'm really intrigued. That I think Ben Kennedy has talked a lot about how the course is not fully decided, similar to Chicago, but iRacing basically helped them design it, just like they did with Chicago. So
there's a lot. I'm just looking all across. It's a ton of houses and a lot of big houses too. Probably also a lot of military housing as well in this area.
Oh, definitely. There definitely has to be.
It's interesting if you try to do Google Street View, it's available for some places, but not all places. It looks like around the area. Yeah,
I know
some sections that are cut off.
I'm just also keeping an eye too on the chat because I want to see what a lot of people are saying about it. Irvin says it's the richest part of the island.
Yeah, I could see that.
I will say, I know the locals from what I was reading in both the NASCAR and the San Diego subreddit, like the actual locals of that specific area, apparently they are a pain in the ass when it comes to noise complaints and shit like that. So,
well, you have
they can pack up and leave on Saturday.
F-22 Raptors flying out all the time. How does noise bother you?
Let's be honest. When it comes to opponents in motorsports, do they ever use their brains? It's usually like, oh my God, they might hurt the art.
I'm literally looking at the airbase. Here's some on the map, HSM 71 Raptors. I'm like, yeah, okay.
This is the perfect opportunity to fly Slap out there so he can be at an airbase speedway.
Literally, I'm looking. Yes, no, that actually is airbase.
You should
speedway.
Go out there and be like, I visited the new airbase speedway.
It's technically Navy, and yeah, I'm just looking around. It's like, okay, here's 5 Blackhawks. Here's 6 Osprey helicopters. Oh, 7. There's one over here. Literally just looking around the map, you're like, all this military equipment is just around here, and you have noise complaints.
Apparently it's about the symphony nearby too. So it wasn't even about something that was actually super loud.
Hey,
bad.
My God, the flyover for this race is going to be insane. Get everything you got. Go.
Literally the flyover is going to be as long as the race.
It's literally everything they got just coming out.
Now watch, I just send one plane over and they're like,
that would be so stupid. We're literally on a Navy base. Send all you got. I don't care if it takes them 3 hours to get them all up in the air.
This is their test for the week. That's their test run.
Literally test like you're invading somewhere. Just come through.
We need a pre-race flyover, a mid-race flyover, and a post-race flyover.
Where this is getting out of hand. Yeah, there's I'm excited. That's all I can say about this. Yeah. I don't know how much more we can delve into until we get more details.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
What else we got, Danny? There's more. I think there's more schedule stuff.
There's a little bit. NASCAR has confirmed it will not be back at Chicago, at least downtown Chicago, for 2026. They've worded it in a way that leaves the door open for 2027 possible. Still nothing on paper or concrete about Chicagoland. We know that we beat that horse into the dirt at this point of,
Yeah.
it wants to happen. Just will it happen right now?
The thing with Chicago that's always going to be difficult, and it's going to be difficult with any city, is just the politics side of it. And then, not to get into like anything major, but more of city politics. And it's like I saw like an alderman from Chicago being like, we need a better deal for the city of Chicago and the people. And I'm like, y'all want more money. Like,
Yes.
you don't have, and don't get me wrong, like NASCAR fleeced them, but it's like, we all know that's the hang up, that and the weekend, which I think
the schedule's as big of a hang up. Like, I think they could keep running on July 4th, but the price is just going to go way, way up. But if they find another weekend, I think they could get to a price that's more reasonable. And that's the thing, is I still don't think NASCAR needs to be there July 4th from like a business sense. I think I don't think that's going to change the crowd. They might actually get a bigger crowd if it's not on July 4th weekend, because there's less competition in town.
Honestly, I would only, if you're, I know, because they said NASCAR said something about like June, July, and early August is the only stuff they'd be open for. And I'm like, fine, if you're going to have it again, open it up on NBC, like first week of August or something. It's going to be freaking hot no matter what. It's Chicago in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So get it back on a channel that could actually cover it well. And,
That's how to.
The contrast from the last 2 years to this year was insane. Like, there's just the night and day difference. And it's like, I would want NBC back in a heartbeat to cover this, or Prime.
Yeah. I'm like, is it possible that if we continue to see just bad production, I'm not going to say do it next year, but if 3 years goes by and we don't see any improvement in production from TNT, do we see Prime and NBC just going in to buy out their contract?
Well, there's already the issues with Warner Brother Discovery that might lead to sell-offs and stuff like that. And then the whole thing about the new the NBC Sports Network, if you will, is also because Comcast sold off basically like USA and everything.
Yeah, and USA's already been struggling. They lost Monday Night Raw to Netflix, and that was always their biggest guaranteed cash cow throughout the season, because that would always be something good on Monday. That's considered WWE's flagship show. They consolidated them and gave them SmackDown, which is considered still the afterthought of the two WWE shows.
I think Ben Kennedy said in the next couple weeks the schedule is supposed to come out, according to what he was saying today in his presser. That's the first one, which means we'll hear it a few more times before it actually does come out. And
again, we're starting to see these little announcements, these things coming out. That means, okay, it's getting prepped. We're getting some of the biggest things out of the way. If we see anything move forward on Chicagoland, I feel like at that point, it's about ready to be released.
I think the biggest hangups, I think, are two things. I think it's the push to try and get to Montreal or just anywhere in Canada, and what's up with Mexico. I think once they figure the international stuff out, the domestic stuff will be so much easier. They probably can fit it in place in a night.
And the weirdness of COTA, we were talking about that a couple weeks ago.
So I heard that based on some of the other ones and other people I asked, that COTA is fine, and that rumor just sort of went a little crazy too quick, which I wouldn't see why COTA wouldn't be fine. I think we said that on the show itself when we talked about the reckless speculation for it, that like there's no reason to get rid of COTA. There's no reason to leave.
As much as we can not like their track changes, SMI management is probably one of the most reliable in terms of getting their stuff handled behind the scenes with their tracks.
Yeah, I am fully expecting COTA to be on the schedule. Now, depending on which race of the season it's on, maybe it'll be right before Mexico for an easier drive down or something like that.
Stop in Austin.
Yeah, just stop in Austin right before you go to Mexico, and then you get an extra week to get everything, your ducks in order during the Easter holiday weekend.
Yep.
Wink, wink. But no, that's about it with the schedule side of it. There's so much more stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about Mark Martin. We love him. He's on our show. He's the only guest we ever had to take an intermission with to tell him it's okay to leave now, sir.
Really quick, I wanted to show you guys. Now that you brought that up, there's actually a thing on here that's a intermission screen that I can that ScreenYard lets me pop up.
Oh,
That's so generic.
I know. It's it's just they added them like last week or something. But I was like,
Wow.
oh, okay, so we got that for us. But anyway,
we just need
intermission.
to play music and mute all of our mics anytime you turn it on now.
Hey, next time we have Mark Martin on, we'll be able to pop that on screen.
Yep. But yeah, that was a whole ordeal for sure. So here's the thing. I think it is very well possible, because of the way NASCAR is on him right now. And there is an argument that there is a certain portion of NASCAR shills in the industry and the media landscape that will adapt and run with narratives by the sport. This is very well likely that comments about Denny Hamlin were confused for Mark Martin. It is possible.
So essentially, and there's a clip that went viral from on track Sirius XM show with Danielle Trotta and Larry McReynolds, where I think they were answering a fan question, and Trotta very vehemently.
I have it.
You have the clip. You can play it.
Yeah, I can add it in really quick.
Oh well, that's better than us trying to describe it.
Yeah, I didn't know we had this technology, but we can't get the Chase Elliott Jingle Bells clip.
I had time on this one. I made a video on this today.
We will get a copyright claim from Chase Elliott.
Yeah, he did sing really good. The little bit I heard, it was very accurate.
All right, I'm gonna add it in right here, so it might just pop up on screen right over us.
Don't scare.
Where'd it go? Okay, I think it's right here.
They have these committees now where drivers sit in, and I'm not going to mention the driver that's on the playoff committee that I have heard is screaming loudly to go back to that system, and I pray to God everyone in NASCAR inside that room.
I bet it's a driver that's not won a championship. Would I be right on that? Bingo.
Correct.
We got a winner, Johnny.
Let's keep moving forward, not backward.
Really quick, what the hell is that music?
It sounds like that's their going to break music, I guess.
That was an interesting choice. No, so my issue was less with Danielle Trotta on this clip, more with Larry McReynolds. Now, Danielle Trotta, my problem with her is she did not make a strong pro playoff argument. She just very vehemently rejected the notion of eliminating the playoffs. And I felt like that was kind of a strong take. Her argument at the end there, we need to move forward, not backward. What does that really mean? We went back to North Wilkesboro and it was a hit. Sometimes you do need to take a step backward. So I just feel like, as the one person on this show that's probably the most pro playoffs, I just listened to her say that and said, well, that's not a very good argument. Like anyone could poke holes in that. My bigger issue there, and I think the issue that a lot of folks took on social media, was with Larry McReynolds. Some of it was what he said. It was the tone. He seemed to be implying there that, rather than addressing the argument of, hey, here is why no playoffs is the right thing, rather than address that argument, he instead did the thing where he tried to discredit the person making said argument by saying, oh, well, they've never won a championship. So either they don't know how to talk about playoffs, or they're trying to come up with a format that benefits them. Social media first thought this was directed at Mark Martin, because Mark Martin was also on Twitter tweeting about playoffs. But Larry McReynolds and Danielle Trotta claimed this wasn't about Mark Martin. It's about an active driver. So some have speculated Denny Hamlin could be someone else. But that's my takeaway, was not so much. No, it doesn't. That's my point. Is like Larry McReynolds has done this now twice. He did it last year. Maybe he just doesn't like Denny Hamlin. He did it last year with 2311 when they sued NASCAR. Rather than address their arguments, like, hey, why is 2311 suing NASCAR? What are they claiming? Here are the antitrust case. Here's it all laid out. Rather than address that, he instead jumped to, oh, well, 2311 is the new kid on the block. Like, I trust what these veteran owners think, and they signed the charter agreement. So why is this new team thinking they can overhaul the sport? Like, that's not, to me, a strong argument. That's not a strong defense. If you want to argue the merits of the case itself, do that. Anyone can make a good point. Just because you haven't won a championship, or just because you're new to the sport, doesn't mean you can have you can't have a take on the playoffs, or you can't want to change the business model. Like, it's just, I hope that makes sense. That's where I think the problem really comes from, is that he's not actually embracing or he's not taking on the debate itself. He's just trying to tear down the person making the point. And I don't think those are relevant.
And I really don't like the idea of just, one thing to say that someone who was in the sport can't have a valid opinion. It's another thing, I don't even like the idea of saying fans can't have an opinion, because we definitely haven't. Most of us have not have participated in the sport in any capacity other than being a fan, but we are the fans. We should have an opinion on what we want to watch too.
Well, and it was a response to a fan that called in on top of that. And the thing is, I have issue with a lot of it that they said. But I don't even know if I buy that it's not Mark, because Danielle Trotta was responding multiple times to Mark Martin about it and not denying it until the backlash blew up bigger, right? And as well as Larry Mack, making these kind of things towards Denny Hamlin before, he's also had a history on Twitter of having major F-ups and then lying about what was actually the cause of it. We were in Indianapolis when one of those ones really squeezed its way out. But the thing, the entire clip, the entire argument or lack thereof, all of that, to me, it perfectly exemplified the disconnect that so many in NASCAR media seem to have with the discourse that fans have. Danielle Trotta, what she said wasn't at all that bad of like necessarily in just if you wrote it down and just read it, like that you hope to God it's not there or anything. It's the fact that she sounded so just like, oh, I can't believe you're even entertaining the thought of doing this, when it's pretty damn clear there is a large portion of fans that want this or something like this. And then, and then that's not to say that it's what the most fans want or what all the fans want. And this is not, and I really hope we don't devolve into it. This is not a playoff discussion. It's more of them discussion. Larry Mack, then the championship side, where's Larry's championships? And if it is Denny Hamlin or Mark Martin, they have won numerous more races than Larry McReynolds did as a crew chief. So, and the other part of it, if it's Mark Martin too, and the argument's been against Mark Martin, that only, like, to me, ironclads his argument more, because he lost so many damn times under the system. So none of this in any way makes the NASCAR media and NASCAR elite, as many look at them in a lot of ways, look good. Oh, we weren't ripping on Mark. We were ripping on an active driver. Okay,
that doesn't matter.
That doesn't help.
Like that, to me, that all that screams us, we are not impartial in any way to the competition. We have our favorites and we have those we don't like, and we will actively say it, but we won't name names.
It's more, to me, again, the problem for me was they just deflected from the actual debate rather than, okay, why do you think the playoffs are better? Why do you think the Winston Cup format should stay in the past? Rather than take on any of those points, which maybe, we only heard that 30-second clip. Maybe they did. I'll give them some grace. I haven't heard the whole show. Maybe they did talk about it beforehand, but it sounded in that clip, like you're saying, Jarrett, like you were saying, it sounds in that clip like they don't even want to entertain the thought. I think that is the tone, is what I think a lot of people reacted to negatively as well, because they did sound shocked someone would even bring it up. Like we talked about this earlier in the show. I think a lot of mainstream corporate, NASCAR media that is in some way, shape, or form under the sanctioning body's umbrella, they are willingly ignorant of the actual discourse online. Like they don't realize, or they pretend to not realize, that there is a large vocal section of the fan base that is anti-playoffs. They pretend that debate, that discourse doesn't exist. And that's silly. And that's why a lot of people don't take these shows seriously, because they aren't actually engaging with what the fans are talking about. And that's what bothered me there. It was just like this blissful ignorance, this intentional ignorance of the actual conversation.
And this is just nothing new to Sirius XM NASCAR programming, in my opinion. Dave Moody, admittedly, is one of the worst at just hammering what he would believe that NASCAR wants people to know. And if you have any differing opinion, he will be the first to laugh at you, to humiliate you, for questioning you, for even calling into his radio show. It's pretty disgusting behavior in all honesty.
Well, and the final thing I'll say on all of this is like when like at the end of last year, when there were plenty of opinions going back and forth, and we talked and we debated and back and forth about the playoffs and about a full season or a 10-race chase or something new altogether. What I appreciated about that, and I wish we could have in more NASCAR media, is the fact that Eric and I are not just on separate ends of the screen here. Like, we're on separate ends of that argument. And we're probably never going to fully meet in the middle perfectly on that.
That's why they put me in the middle, because I believe I'm in the middle here.
Danny is our great mediator.
I'm true neutral right now.
But the thing is that Eric and I have such vastly different opinions, but we are grown-ass adults who can hear a separate opinion, talk to each other about it, not insult the other person about it, and then move on with our day and not think that one is better than the other. And the fact that a couple of guys on a YouTube show every Wednesday night can do that, but a lot of people in corporate media and other areas can't. And that's not just in NASCAR sports. That's just in general. Like, this is something that should be an easy discussion back and forth. And at the end of the day, we'll find out what the decisions on that is. My question is, where are the updates from the playoff committees? Because apparently, based on what they talked about, there's been more meetings about it. I want to know what's up.
I wish there'd also be more transparency as to who was on the NASCAR playoff committee. When you just try to Google that, the only answer I get from the AI overview, and that's it, examining every article and thing that's ever existed on this, says the NASCAR playoff committee includes Ben Kennedy as chairperson, of Julia Landauer as his right-hand woman. Tim Clark is also involved, leading the blocking and tackling and assembling many of the committee members. The committee also includes drivers like Christopher Bell and representatives from team owners, manufacturers, and broadcast partners. So, other than that, we can't really find out who's on this committee.
Denny Hamlin is in it.
We knew Bell and Hamlin were in it.
Dale Jr. and Mark Martin are both in it, because Mark Martin wouldn't be privy to all that information he talked about with Kenny Wallace, which is another one I'll give credit to. Say what you want about Kenny Wallace. Him and Mark Martin talked it out. Like,
these meetings need more transparency, because like college football playoffs, it has been changing so much over the last few years. It's still going to change. But when things happen at that, the college football media knows about it, reports about it instantly. And we can't get enough answers from all this stuff, it feels like.
That's how different NASCAR media works. There's access to be lost.
I honestly, I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind transparency. I guess you can't have too much transparency, but with something like the playoffs, again, my biggest complaint over the years with playoffs is that they are always changing it, modifying it. It's hard to take any format seriously because it changes every few years. So if proposed formats were to legitimately leak out on the regular, I just think you're feeding into that fan fiction of, well, this format's not real because there's actually another, like, you know what I mean? I almost think they do just need to keep it locked tight, and sometime in August, here's the schedule, here's the new format. Hopefully you've done your research and you made a good format. I also don't mind that approach.
So the thing is, I don't think they're going to have a format by the time the schedule comes out, because if they're still having meetings and still, I mean, if the debate is as vast as playoffs, chase, and full season formats and stuff like that, if they're still like in that stage, I don't see how in the next month or two we're like, oh yeah, we figured it all out from there. If you're still having meetings, you're still having huge debates, you're still having people pounding the table for one or the other. Like, I don't see how there's nothing that anyone's talked about that's being honed in on in any way. There's been rumors. There's like Dale Jr. is like, I think it'll probably be like, 9 races and 3-3-3, or, other people will say like, oh, it'll be like 5-5 and X amount in this, but nothing is consistent or concrete from rumor to rumor yet, or from leak to leak. So I wouldn't be surprised if we find out about it in like January, like NASCAR usually does with their announcements. Well, because that's what they did. And granted, it was the Brian France era. Things are hopefully different, but that's what they did every year. 04, they did the same thing. They did the same changes. Now, to be fair, they did little tweaks in 07. They announced that in the summer of 06. But the changes they made in 2011 were leading into speed weeks. The changes they made in 2014 and 2017 were leading into speed weeks. Based on NASCAR's history, I wouldn't be surprised if we find out what it is heading into speed weeks. That's honestly where I'm at with it. I want to know, man. I want to know.
I'm running a poll for the sake of it. Favorite championship format: Winston Cup era, past to 2003, Chase 2004 to 2013, playoffs 2014 to present, and just for the fun of it, no champions, just races.
That's tempting. I'm kidding. Don't anyone run with that one. That's the
There's
kidding.
1% is actually agreed at that.
That's just the Joker looking for chaos. Challenge the established order.
I
No
mean,
champions.
It's kind of ironic when I said I'm in the middle, and West Virginia said, "Oh, so Danny's the Chase," and kinda the Chase format is my favorite.
I mean,
see, oddly enough,
Blaney said so.
the Chase is my least favorite format.
Really?
Like the original, like 2004, 2005 Chase is my least favorite.
Well, I guess I like how it became around 08, 09.
Let's say like 2013 Chase is almost good. I could do 2013 type Chase with some modifications.
I didn't playoff points more.
Yeah, basically add playoff points and change some of the bonus structures. But then I could do 2013.
I didn't like the original version where it was 10. 12 is my preferred number, I think.
Well, because I know what the current one, like the top 10 getting awarded different points. I mean, that's something taken straight from the 2004 Chase. Then you add in the winning points taken from the 2007 to current one. Then you add in the stage points that was added in 2017. So it's like, that's why I say, like, while I don't like the current one, it is so much better than what we had from 2014 to 2016.
I should clarify, 2014 to 2016 was the worst. And then I think like original Chase is probably second. And then someone mentioned in the chat, so you want them to add a 13th car? I mentioned 2013. I did not mean that part of 2013. I should have said like
Gordon will be added to the 2026 playoffs.
I do not want Jeff Gordon being artificially added to the playoffs every year. I want to make that clear.
Dude, don't challenge Gordon fans too much. I've been in that argument since 2018 where they're like, Gordon deserved to be in, and like they should add someone, and he would have been in. They should have, so they judged it off of how it would have been. And it's like, that is not how you judge a sport. That's how somebody that's lost in the sauce judges the sport. I would know. I was there at Chicagoland in 2013. But I mean,
got the pen Jupiter Reigns comment. The driver 5 is still alive.
He's actually going to be subbing in Tom Cruise to drive that car, and then they'll film and compete. It'll just get completely wacky and wild. Yeah, that was fun. That was actually more fun when we didn't have to debate this formats this time.
That'll happen in like October.
We're already
next week. We don't know,
or whenever they announce the new one. Yeah.
We're already in overtime, so these next two, I want to go fast. One is reckless speculation. The other one is NASCAR, and I get tired of NASCAR, so let's get through that one as soon as possible.
Okay.
Let's actually jump that one. Let's go right into NASCAR before we get to reckless speculation.
NASCAR's pretty short this week, so there's an injunction hearing scheduled for August 28th. That'll be officially 2311 in Front Row's last chance to try and salvage their charter status for the rest of this year. But by that point, it'll basically be playoff time. So there's not a lot of season left. But that's August 28th. The bigger thing was NASCAR changed a rule this week. So now that they are now allowing themselves, they've now given themselves the ability to cap the entry list at 40 cars for specific cup races. This was done to ensure that 2311 and Front Row don't miss any races, because part of the team's injunction argument was that, hey, we need an injunction so that we don't miss any races. Because if we miss a race, a sponsor might be upset and leave, break contracts, etc. And so NASCAR's like, all right, well, how about we lock you into every race? Now your injunction argument is a lot weaker, huh? So the NASCAR is throwing the teams a bone in hopes that it throws out their injunction argument. We'll see if that happens. We'll find out on August 28th, I suppose.
We talked about it before the show. The first thing that I thought is like, doesn't that just prove 2311 in Front Row's case that you just change stuff at a whim whenever you want unopposed?
Yeah, I mean, we were joking. Yeah, is there a chance this is used as evidence against NASCAR in December? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but it is. On its face, I hate the idea of capping the entry list. Like, I know it'll probably not make any major impact this year, but I hate, in principle, that idea.
Yeah, and I know that, like, again, we talked about it before, the flimsy argument people have thrown out as well, they could do like an old school rule. So like back in the day when Winston Cup championships, and back then what teams would do a lot of times, and you saw this like in 2003, there was a bit of it in the truck series with the finale, is that you would see teams compete for the championship, enter in cars to either start and park or, just get in the way of other contenders, stuff like that. And just all in all manipulate the races. And so that's the only argument I've seen anyone really gain any traction with about this. But the thing is like, Eric, you brought the point up before the show when we were talking about it, is when you're an open entry, it is so monetarily like detrimental to go on the chance of qualifying in and bouncing 2311 or front row out. Like, it doesn't make sense to do that. So there's really nothing.
I think the odds, for example, Gibbs and Hendrick cannot enter fourth cars. But then, say Trackhouse were to enter a fourth car to help a Chevy out. Like, that's expensive. That's a lot of money to spend bringing people to the track, building a car, entering the race, only to, even if you make the race, you still might not make the race. You're making like no money in purse. So unless you have a big sponsor attached, and I bet that big sponsor doesn't want to start in park. So I don't see that being realistic, but you never know.
It doesn't make sense as an argument. So I've already I already don't like having tons of guaranteed entries, and I've just accepted it in NASCAR because it's just between the top. We basically have the top 35 rule codified. Like, that's basically what the charter system is. But the fact that it's like now there's literally no intrigue on qualifying either on principle, because it's like, oh, it's just where they start. Like, it's literally nobody will have the chance to get sent home. There's nothing at risk at all. And I get NASCAR's probably doing this as like a good faith kind of thing, but it just seems dirty to me. There's nothing like, I guess, inherently illegal about it in their issuing of rules in the sport. This is how it's been. I get that. It just feels dirty to just like, well, we're literally changing the rules to benefit specific race teams. I don't like that.
Yeah, no, that's a good point as well. Like I said, the principle of this rule in every way, shape, and form feels wrong. So I hope it goes away as soon as possible. I hope it's very temporary.
Yeah. So, Danny, what's our reckless speculation this week?
Spire Motorsports may possibly be selling off much of their truck series assets, this according to Colby Evans, and possibly could be a shift. Spire wants to focus more on the Xfinity series, according to Breakard. We did see them in recent years having a small Xfinity series brand, but that was mainly for a few part-time starts for Carson Hocevar. Other than that, we really haven't seen them touching that series too much.
It's interesting because, there was a rumor, there have been reports or rumors, I should say, that the 77 truck may not make it to the end of the year. They've been, I think we talked last week how they're outside the top 20 in owners' points. I don't know what the funding situation is there, but that could be related to this. It's interesting too, though, because Spire got all of the trucks from KBM when they swooped in like a year or two ago, whenever that was. So it's also interesting in that respect. The Spire to Xfinity news would be interesting. Hopefully that doesn't mean their truck program goes away entirely. But if that means, okay, we're going to run an Xfinity car or two, is that an opportunity for a Raja Carruth to move up full time? He ran at Dover. He raced at Dover this past weekend for Jordan Anderson and was actually more competitive in that car than I expected. We like Raja here. I think he's due for a promotion, see what he can do in the Xfinity series. Or what does this mean? I don't know. I think that's interesting. Is this Spire diversifying where they're at, building a full pipeline to Cup, or is this them getting out of trucks entirely? I think only time will tell.
The thing is that, because part of the other reckless speculation is what we talked about earlier of colleague, possibly going to Ram next year as a truck team. And my big question though is, Spire pulling out. There's, I think, another team this past week that closed its doors in trucks, and Ram's going to add a few, but they're also going to probably poach a few. Going forward with how it's not really profitable to be in the truck series. I wonder how this series really keeps itself going at this rate with actual fields. Are we going to get to the point where it's like in the 2010s where we were getting, 20-something car or 20-something truck fields on a semi-regular basis or a regular basis. And
I mean,
that's my worry.
it's not necessarily a discussion I want to have now, but if we do continue to push this electric division idea in NASCAR, this is the series that's, if NASCAR does this, they're going to want that to not just be the modifieds and regional tours that get minimal TV time. They're going to want that on broadcast television.
Well, and on the other end too, remember there was a rumor for a while that like, Xfinity could become like the sedan series, like the 4-door, SUV series, I should say. And it's like, maybe that's the trucks, because
I mean, the electric cars already have a SUV design to them. So,
but that could be like down the line or down the pipe, that they have that. The truck series right now is in such an interesting place, in my opinion, because they really have made an identity for themselves that's gotten away from the old grizzled veterans. It is now literally like, Xfinity Light, Crazy Electric Boogaloo 2. Like, it's just every crazy bit you can throw into it. They've had it in the last couple of years.
Let's just become the electric truck series. Ironically enough, the Tesla Cybertruck would be the most aerodynamical one in the field if we could get that.
Put that thing in a wind tunnel. Show me the results.
I'm just that's where my worry is that they've talked about the fact that the purses are not big enough. They've talked about the fact that it's not profitable. They've talked about the fact of how difficult it is to go across the country. And now it sounds like they're going to send them to California more, which is, again, not going to probably make too much a dent in Cup or Xfinity's pocketbooks, but it's going to make a huge difference. It's going to make a very big difference to these guys. And I want to know what NASCAR's plan is to keep the series going the way it is. Because I felt like, honestly, entering the 2020s, the truck series is actually in a pretty good spot leading in. And
that's
now
the thing is everything. And I've never seen, obviously, the books of any of these race teams, the balance sheet, but it felt like the truck series was the place you could go and be competitive quickly because you don't have to develop an engine. The truck, there's all, there are a lot of short tracks, the aero matters, obviously, the Tricon, Heim's trucks trimmed out to perfection. Dover Sport's been great in the past. Like there's obviously aero advantages and stuff, but it always felt like, mid-sized teams like Nice Motorsports could pop up and win any given week. And that's hard to do in Cup or Xfinity, but in the trucks, you could do it. But that does seem to have changed. I think maybe, engine prices perhaps have gone up. Lack of manufacturer support, maybe that could change with Ram. I don't really know where. I'd be interested to talk to a truck owner and know where it went wrong, because I see like how Jordan Anderson, for example, was a truck team for a long time, and then basically he's gotten out of trucks to go Xfinity racing. And now it sounds there's rumors, obviously that Spire could be doing the same thing. KBM got out of the truck series entirely. The list goes on and on and on. It's just, there does seem to be a lot of turnover right now in this series, and that's concerning, no doubt, because I don't want this to become ARCA, where you end up with 6 or 7 manufacturer-backed cars or trucks on a given week that are good, and then like 10 to 15 others that are just, hand-me-downs that are just there to fill out the entry list. Like I worry this is going to be ARCA in 5 years, and that's not great, because then 10 years after that, it'll hit the Xfinity series. And just, worst case, it's like a virus. That sounds so awful. I'm calling ARCA a virus, but it's like a virus. That's
careful, Icarus.
Yeah. I could
welcome to the virus Menard series, everybody.
Yeah. I could have chosen my words carefully, but I mean, I think real talk, nobody wants ARCA. Nobody wants Truck Xfinity Cup to look like ARCA. I mean, ARCA is not the glowing picture of stock car racing health. Let's just say that. We can all say that. So that's all. I'm with you. I'm surprised to hear that Spire may be getting out, but then that Colleague might be getting in. What's that about? Is that a transaction happening? I don't know. Just odd. Just a lot of turnover.
Yeah. Well, I'm ready for some fun.
God,
you guys want to have fun?
Yes, let's have some fun.
right after a virus, I want to have fun.
This is fun. We're having fun.
Okay, let's get to predictions. All right, we're so off the crazy train tonight.
It's only appropriate.
It's prediction time. Each host to make 2 NASCAR, motorsports, or show related predictions. We'll try and keep them relatively concise within a few years or within a parameter or something like that. And we'll keep track of them each week in our accountability session, a session that I am sorely dreading because it was not a good week for me. Now, I said last year NASCAR would reduce horsepower for the 2025 Indy Cup race. I should have specified because I don't know if everyone forgets, but damn, that Xfinity race was hyped up to hell, man. It was very hyped. I said there'd be a beach ball on track at some point at Dover.
Why did you say that again?
Because they had that beach area and a bunch of beach balls and stuff that were around the area.
Okay. The beach was way away from the track, actually.
I was hoping they're predicting that the wind would work. I don't know. I also said there wouldn't be a track on the 26 schedule that never hosted a cup race before 26, and then San Diego happened.
Yeah.
So, ooh. Next up, Danny said the cup race would get to at least halfway on Sunday.
Hey, to be fair, with what happened and the way the forecast is looking, it was not a layup.
No, it was not. And Eric said there'd be a new road course on the 2026 Cup schedule, unless they make an oval out of San Diego in the next couple months.
Oh, no.
You also said Ryan Truex would get a top 10 in the Xfinity race.
He wasn't as good as I thought. I think he was like 16th.
So standing so far this year, Danny takes the lead at 33.33%.
That is massive.
I'm at 32.59 and Eric at 28.33. So under a 5% blanket.
We're close.
All time, I still lead 39.26, Danny at 31.65, and Eric at 30.49. So that means
weren't you in the 40s though? Like that this last week of like 3 kind of brought you down a little bit. I feel
I was at 40 flat. Yeah. So Danny, you lead off now.
I do lead off. All right. The San Diego street course layout will change 2 or more times before the actual race.
I think that could happen. Yeah, I'm going to do 2 for this week. So first one, the Brickyard 400 will have under 2.5 million viewers.
Connor Zilic is at 4 wins this year, right? Is that correct?
2 road course, 2 ovals.
Yes. He will finish this year with at least 6 Xfinity wins.
Solid.
Danny, what we got for number 2?
Daytona's 400-mile race will be won by a driver who was in the top 16 going into the race.
It's like the playoff grid or just flat top 16 in points?
The playoff top 16.
Okay.
Who would already be in going in.
I just want to make sure you don't get dinged on a technicality.
I'll specify when I write it in.
In light of recent events we talked about earlier, TNT will go to commercial at least once during the Brickyard 400, playing a song with Aussie Osbourne singing.
I like that. That's a good one.
This dude's been on us. Nobody's talking about him, and that's the point. Josh Berry has been awful for about 3 months. I started the year off so good. Everyone's like, yeah, he won. That's a surprise. But look at how good he's running. He deserves it. He's 22nd in points. Like, he's been bad this year. He honestly, you could argue, is a bigger waste of a playoff spot than SVG at this moment. My prediction is that Josh Berry will finish the regular season outside the top 20 in the regular season points.
I'm going to give an honorable mention to Diecast Countdown. Prediction, Cookie Monster will eat the microphone.
I like that. That's a good prediction.
Cookie.
Nom, 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 nom.
Oh man, I saw some people all rolling their eyes at that, and I'm like, I think it's cute. I think it's fun.
Yeah, I think it's very cute. I'm curious. Is it going to be like some kind of stage setup where you don't see the guy, or is it just going to be awkward? He's going to be there. Everyone in the stand sees him, but only on TV we don't see him.
I think they said
you can't
press conference.
You can't break the illusion. You can't break the magic. Or hopefully, I just hope it's not like pre-recorded. Like they cut to a video of him
be the worst. I want him at the track. I want him like there on the brick somehow.
Hey, is it true that Cookie Monster apparently eats vegetables now?
That was a thing a while ago. They tried to change it.
Yeah.
Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. I don't know if that was a thing. Not when we were kids.
No, definitely not when I was a kid. But I'm just like, because my wife got, was showing me that she has the DVD set of like the original seasons of Sesame Street. And then she's like, Cookie Monster eats freaking vegetables now. And I'm like, what? I'm like, that's more commie than Our Motorsports. All right. You guys ready to have a little more fun?
Yes.
Sounds good.
How about random driver of the week fun?
Bye, chat.
See you in a few minutes, chat.
See you on the other side. See you on the flip side.
Break
All
on through
right.
to the other side.
So, as we speak now, for random driver of the week, Danny and Eric are tied at the number that is funnier than 24.
Casey Mears number.
25.
That's a hint.
Yeah, they're tied at 25. As for the last 5, Eric has 2. He got Junior Johnson last week, as well as Jeff Gordon. Danny has 3. He got Dario Franchitti all the way in Jamaica, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sniped that one.
And then he was the ball buster for Bobby Dale Earnhardt and Angela Ruck.
Mm-hmm.
So, all righty. Are you ready?
Yes,
sir.
We can never have one of us with a 2-point lead, it feels like.
Yeah, it's a max that I think it's ever gotten to. I'm going to keep the chat right there. This random driver started racing on dirt at the age of 15.
A little late start, honestly.
Better late than never.
This random driver is a native of Alabama. This random driver turned down a scholarship to play football at the University of Alabama.
Ooh.
To instead race.
What position?
I believe offensive line.
Ooh, so bigger guy.
Yeah.
Big boy.
This guy was also, the random driver is also both a football and basketball star in high school.
So it's a tall person.
Tall guy.
Tall from Alabama.
This random driver was actually, within the last month or so, a guest on the Scene Vault podcast.
Oh, man.
This random driver was nominated for the 1986 Alabama Athlete of the Year Award.
Okay, so this has probably got them. Okay, yeah.
None of the 3 NWP hosts have ever tweeted about this random driver either.
Okay, that hurts.
Yep.
It's over.
This random driver drove at one time for car owner Brett Favre.
He had very few people who drove for him.
Alabama guy driving for the Mississippi quarterback. One of the most memorable moments of this random driver's career was a major crash without injury that he had at Atlanta. By the way, there are 21 clues and we're 9 in. So, closing in on halfway. This random driver currently owns a number of different businesses, including a laundromat, commercial real estate, and even a hot dog stand. Like at an airport.
Oh,
At an airport.
very specific.
This random driver's father also sponsored a local dirt track that he drove at growing up, like in his teens. This random driver's first cup start was from Moroso Racing.
It's from who?
Moroso Racing. This random driver had 18 career Cup Series top 10 finishes.
18 career top 10 finishes.
Yes. Got your pens and paper out because we got numbers.
My brain is fried. I have no idea who this is.
Yeah.
Tell me when you're ready.
Ready.
07, 01, 0, 5, 8, 9, 11, 12, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 29, 31, 34, 36, 38, 39, 41, 44, 45, 49, 59, 61, 63, 66, 74, 91, 93, and 96.
I'm laughing. I want someone to have just tuned into the last 10 seconds and they just see Danny and I's like eyes closed and you just reciting random numbers like a robot.
Welcome to the cult.
This is the whole show. They just read numbers and look down.
Welcome to the cult of NASCAR. Are you ready for OEMs that this random driver drove?
Mhm.
Chevrolet, Ford, Dodge, Pontiac, and Oldsmobile.
God.
This random driver ran a single season in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series and finished 10th in points.
Not bad.
This random driver's last NASCAR ride was for JD Motorsports.
For JD Motorsports.
Correct. 4 clues left, by the way.
I assume chat's figured it out.
Yeah.
Got no idea, dude.
This random driver today can still actually be seen at some Cup races and other NASCAR races as he still attends races.
Cool. As a fan, does he have a job? Does he?
As a fan, sometimes in the garage. He's there from time to time. This random driver has 11 career Xfinity Series wins.
Solid.
This random driver is the 1985 Winston All-Pro champion. We got one
Very
more clue
cool.
left. If anyone wants to throw a guess.
I think I know, but I want to hear a little bit more.
Well, I got one clue. There's not much more.
It's okay, Danny. I'm not going to guess, so you can take one more clue.
I mean, I have a little bit of knowledge about the FAR motorsports things. I did a video on that, so I'm just trying to let me hear the last clue, and I might be able to know.
This random driver is the 1993 Xfinity Series champion.
It's Dave Grissom.
Correct.
Good job. I would not have guessed that.
That's
not a name that came to mind.
All the way to the end. Yes, Steve Grissom.
Well done.
So congrats. Danny takes the lead 26-25.
Good job. Earned that one.
Yeah.
And
it took forever, but I just had to remember every little thing I remembered from making that video. It's been a while.
there is like after we had such a streaky start to the season, where like I had like 2 or 3 in a row, and some of you guys like went back and forth with 2 or 3 in a row. It's getting tough. We're going back and forth a lot more the last 5 weeks if you include this one. So it'll be fun.
Now, say in the chat, if you would have said something about the Cartoon Network car or
that would have given it away,
or the WCW stuff, that would have gave it away really easily.
That's the thing, is like the chat's like, you need to give these clues. They give it away. And I'm like, no, I don't want to give it away. Oh, man. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. But now back to business.
Yep.
What is business this week?
Business this week. Standing on business. I know a lot of people in the chat were disappointed that David Land could not be with us. Unfortunately, he couldn't be with us for this week because we are going to Indianapolis, 2 Indianapolis tracks to be specifically, Indianapolis Motor Speedway and Indianapolis Raceway Park for the Truck Series this weekend. Some weekend notes to know. Cookie Monster is the Brickyard 400 Grand Marshal. Om nom 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 nom. Pacers player Pascal Siakam is set to lead the field to the green in the pace car, and Kyle Larson will be in the Hendrick Motorsports number 17 Xfinity car. No note, but since she's injured, Caitlin Clark, you should come to the race. The Cup Series race name is the Brickyard 400. It's just the Brickyard 400. There's no weird extra
No, it's
things.
presented by. I didn't add that shit.
Oh, are you serious? Okay, I was getting.
They're not paying
No, I
us.
was not going to add all that.
Okay, Brickyard 400 presented by Pennzoil, Quiznos, Steak and Shake.
Is Quiznos still a thing?
Yeah, we
Is
have
it?
one in Goodlettsville.
Bro, I can't remember the last time I had a Quiznos.
Yeah, since Planet Fitness in our town is closed down for about a month for renovation, so I have to go to one over there now, and it's right by that area.
I thought you were going to say the Planet Fitness is closed, so now I have to go to Quiznos.
Planet Fitness is closed, so they want me to get fatter. For when I come
There's
back.
only one. I can either get in shape or get fat. There's no in between. I got no other choices.
I have a shape. It's round, no matter what.
Extreme yo-yo dieting.
That's how I am, though, Danny. I'm like, I could go to the YMCA, but there's a Cane's on the way, and so I always end up stopping just short.
Okay. This race is a 160 lap race. It's broken up into 50 laps in stages 1 and 2, 60 laps in stage number 3. It's set to start at 2:00 p.m. Eastern time on TNT and HBO Max. You can listen to radio coverage on the IMS Radio Network. Neither PRN or MRN get to showcase this one.
And because I think Alan Bestwick does the IMS.
Yep.
Radio.
That is very true. Weather for this weekend is 89 degrees as the high, isolated thunderstorms with a 31% chance of rain. So we'll see what's going to happen. I mean, this time of year, guys, we know how it is here and at Dover too. It's hot. Storms just seem to, all the water just evaporates quickly with the heat and just makes a storm wherever it wants to put one. So you never know what's going to happen in December time. The defending winner of this race is Kyle Larson. The Xfinity Series race name is the Pennzoil 250. It is a 100-lap race broken up into 30 laps in stage 1, 30 laps in stage 2, 40 laps in stage number 3. The start time is 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. You can watch this race on the CW or listen to it on the IMS Radio Network. The weather for Saturday is a high of 91, mostly cloudy skies with a 24% chance of rain. We will not have a repeat winner because the defending winner of this race is Riley Herbst. The next Jimmy Johnson is the defending winner.
Terrible.
Side note, Gian NASCAR fan noted in the chat, Bestwick does the Indy PA, not IMS Radio, which is a good point. I didn't think about how they would be separated. So buy a ticket instead.
Yeah.
You can hear him then.
They'll be available.
Yes.
Oh, they will be available. The truck race is the T-Sport 200. It's a 200-lap race over at Indianapolis Raceway Park. 60 laps in stage 1, 60 laps in stage 2, 80 laps in stage number 3. This race is going to start at 8:00 p.m. Eastern time on Friday night. You can watch this on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. You can listen to it on the NASCAR Racing Network or Sirius XM. Friday's weather is a high of 83, scattered thunderstorms, a 56% chance of rain. So we'll see what's going to happen on that one. The defending winner of this race is Ty Majeski. And as for the pick points, Jarrett had a phenomenal weekend with a sweep, getting Connor Zilish and Denny Hamlin winning. He has 351 points. As for the rest of us, you can put us under a blanket. Chat, you are minus 22. Eric, third, minus 25. And myself, fourth, minus 27. But at the same time, I also feel like this is right where I want you guys. I like my picks for this one.
Sweep. I got the sweep, baby. Let's go. That's like my first sweep in like 2-3 years.
I'd rather have a triple sweep this weekend, though.
Yeah, that would probably be better. That definitely would.
So, who do I think is going to win the Truck Series race at Indianapolis? It's been a bit since the trucks hit the track, but time to remind them who's in charge. Corey Heim.
You know, he's 14 laps away from leading 1,000 on the year.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I have a prediction riding on that, I think.
Yes, you do. And
Hell yeah.
I have a feeling you're going to knock that out of the park.
And the chat didn't last long trying to say 11. That shifted very fast.
So I go second now, right?
Yes,
You
sir.
do go second.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna take Ross Chastain.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a little crazy.
Wild and wacky. It looks like the chat is going to go with Lane Riggs.
I'm going to go with the guy I believe that's won the last two here. Then I'll go Ty Majeski.
I just don't trust Thor Sport, but maybe.
Trusting Ty Majeski in the Big 25. Wild.
Hey, man. Just saying. I believe I picked him for Lime Rock, and he got me, what, second?
Yeah.
So I think he could.
The Xfinity Series. Who do we think is going to win in the Xfinity Series since everyone's nightmare Riley Herbst is not in the race this weekend? Kyle Larson.
Oh, dang. Okay. All right. I will take. I'm not sure. I should have thought about this ahead of time. I'll take Eric Almirola.
I knew it. I already see where the chat's going with this one. They're going.
Yep, there's the Hillbillies again.
Yeah,
3 in a
they
row.
are. All right. Eventually, this will pay off for me. I'll go with the organization that won last year. I'll go Sam Mayer.
I thought about Sam Mayer. Was he third in this race last year? I think he was. I don't remember.
He was. I thought he ran up front a lot.
Yeah. Watch Sheldon Creed's gonna have the best car though.
God, dude.
Yeah, you could have picked Sheldon Creed.
Yeah.
Why'd you not pick Sheldon Creed?
Because that's never not worked for me before. All right, man. What else we got? I think we're going to the Cup race.
We are going to the Cup race. Who is going to suck in the Brickyard 400? To quote the team owner, we need to get some race cars. This is terrible. Kyle Busch.
Ooh. He was up in top 10 last year in this race.
He won't be this year.
He did wreck at the end of last year's race. Remember racing for nothing.
Fair enough. Very fair.
Call me, say I'm drinking the haterade or whatever. I'll say Josh Berry.
They're going SVG.
I see TNT again in the chat.
That's up from 1 or 2, but
yeah, I'm seeing a fair amount of SVG and Austin Dillon, but I'll give him SVG.
I'll go Justin Haley. Just easy, low-hanging fruit. All right, who we got for dark horses?
I will just say a shout out to Ross Crush saying he did say for a sec pick 48 Bowman doesn't Brickyard. It is true, but it's crazy though because he's pretty decent at Pocono and he's not good at Brickyard somehow. Who is going to be the underdog this weekend? Ironically, I think SVG is my underdog.
Ooh.
I just feel like road course skills can translate well into a track that relies on good braking.
I will go Ty Dillon. Unironically, he has never finished. He has 5 starts at Indy. His worst finish is 21st. Give me Ty Dillon.
The chat is also going with Ty Dillon. They're riding the hype train.
Well, I guess Three's company because I'm doing the same.
I'm all on my own with saying that SVG
Someone needs
can
to pick Ty
do
Gibbs to
well
win.
here.
All right. Who we got to win?
I sure as heck ain't picking Ty Gibbs to win, Eric.
But just saying you could.
Or I could just pick Kyle Larson for a sweep this weekend. That's my pick.
I knew it. I knew it was coming.
How original.
A monkey!
A monkey!
I picked Kyle Larson twice and Corey Heim once. A monkey!
Give me Denny.
God damn it.
He's won every other crown jewel. Why not this one?
All right. that took away the chats. They were wanting Hamlin.
And mine.
Ooh, sorry, chat and Jarrett.
I wasn't gonna get it.
But I think their backup may be Blaney. Yeah, their backup's Blaney.
That's a dangerous game to be playing. He could win or he could crash.
Well, suddenly there's some 9s, but I
Make
still
up your
think
goddamn mind, people.
there was a lot of people who were saying 11 or 12, and then okay, it's Blaney. There's a
I
lot
think
more
it's
12s.
Blaney. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll take Elliott. I thought he was pretty fast here last year until he got in his own way. And that team, I think, is coming on. They just need to make sure the crew chief doesn't make any boneheaded calls.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, all right.
Pretty good picks. I'm pretty happy with mine.
I'm happy with mine.
I actually
think
don't hate
are-
mine.
I
feel
think
good.
I got good value out of mine for being the 4 pick.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let me go up. I'm going to finish this off with final super chats. We ended off on a good one from Napa Racing Fan 927, giving his condolences to Aussie Osbourne. So, with that being said, we're going to pick up Lord Voldemort.
Oh, God.
Appreciate it, $1.99. Boo Bowman, Boo Harvick, hashtag I stand up 2311. They love getting me to say Boo Bowman on my own channel, don't they?
Those
I think so.
monsters.
Alex Left, appreciate the $5 from you. I'm going to the New Hampshire race. Anyone else going? I'm not, but I was there in 23. Go check out my vlog if you want to see how my adventure was there in 23. And also, since it got rained out the day before when I went, I also went to the big racing museum there. You should check out that one because that's something you need to check out while you were there if you have time.
Isn't Dick Bergen there?
Yes, he literally gave us a tour around. Like, it took me a little bit to realize that was him.
He's like one of the curators or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, like he's just always there. Jeremy Dorset, appreciate the 285 from you. NASCAR needs a test session with 750 or higher horsepower. They've had them, but
Speaking my language.
Whatever happened to that rumor that we're gonna get that, or we're gonna look at that for some tracks? They haven't followed that up.
They haven't followed back up on that, but they did. Maybe they'll get there. Well, let's keep putting pressure on them. Somebody, let's get that tweeting. I stand with 750 horsepower. Hashtag. Come on, Voldemort.
Jason Carney, appreciate the $5. Alan Gustafson is still better than Blake Harris. Gustafson won a championship with Chase. Blake has 2 career wins, one with McDowell and one with Bowman. Yeah, if you compare the two, it's night and day difference in terms of their resume, for sure. But I also feel that they both can have their own flaws. Gavin Adcock, appreciate $20 from you. With San Diego being June 19th through the 21st, it leaves the 4th of July open as of now. With the 4th of July being on a Saturday, what are your thoughts of a possible Chicagoland night race on the 4th of July? Jarrett hates that idea because it takes away from his 4th of July plans.
Not even that. 4th of July night is a terrible night in America to be on TV.
That is true. Everyone wants to be watching the New York fireworks show.
Or their own, or their towns, or just it's not a good unless you have a big.
What about Saturday night? Is that what they said? Is that what the comments?
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Oh, then just do it on Sunday afternoon. But I think Chicagoland on July 5th would be great.
I'd be down with the Sunday night Chicagoland race on that weekend.
Now run a Saturday Xfinity race with the promise of a fireworks show that night, and that could maybe work.
Yeah, probably run during the day
for the at-track crowd. Give them a fireworks show that night.
Yeah.
Mrs. Jar Jar Banks, appreciate the $4.99. Misa going to at Disa Clash to Disa Doodoo Heads Bowman and Harvick. Misa thinks Bowman will end up at Fox. Hisa have no class. Hashtag Misa stands with 2311. So Bowman's going to Fox.
Clear as always.
West Virginia, appreciate the $4.99. Let's give the 9 fans something to actually complain about. Blake Harris to the 9, Alan Gustafson to the 48. I'd take that deal if I was Bowman. Well, this won't be the first time Hendrick did that, because remember, Steve Letarte was with Jeff Gordon, and they weren't doing as well, and then Dale Jr. was definitely struggling with Lance McGrew, and so they moved Letarte over to Dale Jr. And is that where Gustafson got in with Gordon? Is that what happened? Yeah. So it wouldn't be the first time they've done something like that. Will Griffin, appreciate the $20 from you. Very generous of you. I was calling for Alan Gustafson's head initially, but if you listen to NASCAR YouTube Radioactive, neither Chase nor Alan knew what the correct pitting call was. In my opinion, as someone who was there, that first rain caution was totally unnecessary.
Now I have not heard people make that comment yet, but I feel like people suggested it was borderline.
Yeah, okay. The first rain caution, I forgot. It was barely sprinkling. I wasn't even wet when that caution came out.
Like, I understand wanting to be cautious, but because it shook up the cycle so dramatically, I was surprised they didn't wait another couple laps at least.
Yeah.
Now, I will push back though. The Alan and Chase not knowing what to do. Like, you're the crew chief. That's your call.
That's your job. That's not for Elliott. Shouldn't even have to worry about that. That should be your decision.
They just have to go with their gut, because if you listen to the radio, at first they both kind of agreed, yeah, probably need to take track position. And then they started second guessing it. Just got to go with your gut sometimes.
Lord Voldemort, appreciate the $1.99. Chicago is why we hate Bowman. Hashtag I stand 2311.
Okay.
TVP 83.
He knocked Chicago off the schedule.
Appreciate the $4.99. Y'all should check out Luke Combs' latest tweet. We did look at that. It was very cool.
Exciting.
Lord Voldemort, appreciate the $1.99. Bubba is only 28 points behind Christopher Bell. Hashtag I stand at 2311.
I think that super chat was from like Atlanta in February.
I mean, I can look, but I'm
28 playoff points, maybe.
now watch, we're laughing like that's actually the truth.
No, there's no way. Oh wait, maybe actually. Wait, I forgot. If you're looking at regular season
hold
points,
on. Yeah, if you look,
I'm looking right now.
Driver.
There's no way. No, there's no way.
Driver. Okay, there's Bubba.
135, maybe.
Yeah, I was about to say no. There's still no way.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I was about to say you're getting now. We were saying we should trust our gut. Now we're second guessing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now all of your anti-Bowman stuff is officially null and void. Chase Vanilliot. Appreciate the $2. They said, wait, I have personality? Ross Crash saying, thank you for becoming a member of Danny B Superfans. Happy to have you on board as a member here. Indy Carson 2025. This starts a pretty active string of super chats, so I appreciate your generosity there, Indy Carson. Appreciate 999. Iceberg. Well, he's not going to get a generous view, Jarrett. Iceberg, why did you delete my YouTube comment regarding weather was nice outside where I was instead of watching rainy weather Dover race? Come on, man. Zillage sucks, period.
Damn.
I'm a little confused by that.
I didn't delete your comment. If somebody did, that's on them. Mods if there's mods on my channel, on this channel right now, if you don't like someone's comment, as long as it's not something messed up, don't delete it. No.
Yeah, I know mods do have the ability to delete stuff too, if they say it.
I didn't delete anything.
Indy Carson 2025. Appreciate another $9.99 from you. Eric, I'm not surprised and used to NASCAR changing rules all the time, unlike other sports. Get rid of charters, stages, and playoffs, and like Mark Martin said, there will be less haters like me.
I love how he self-identifies as a hater.
Hey, at least
that's
he's
good
being honest,
self-awareness. A lot of demands in that post. I think we can discuss a couple of them.
Indy Carson 2025. Appreciate another $4.99 from you. Eric, add more street courses since most short tracks in NASCAR are boring currently. Eric, get on it.
Why was that addressed at me? Is my name Eric Kennedy?
Get on it, Eric. What are you doing?
France?
Hey, in the chat, Noah Coleman says in the year of 2016, BCLHS before Chase lost his smile. Oh man. Sorry. That was too damn good from what we were saying earlier.
Speedway Anywhere, appreciate the $5. Good to hear from you. I know he's one of my biggest fans of the race day vlogs that we do. Hey Danny, thanks for doing another vlog of the NAS couple. Been a while. And then he says his real name is Quentin. Quentin, Thanks for the super chat, man, and happy to get back to it. Hopefully we can get out some more stuff here soon. Trying to work out some cool stuff in and around this area too for some other cool things to showcase in a vlog. So don't want to spoil the party just yet. Indy Carson 2025, appreciate another $4.99 from you. Hey NWP, I'll be in Indy this weekend, and we'll see what weather develops. Where is David Land for your show tonight? Since it's racing Indy, just unfortunately, David couldn't be on the show this week. Unfortunately, that's all it is to it. Rowdy 8 Diecast, appreciate the $5. I got to meet Rowdy 8 Diecast at Dover this weekend. His real name is Will. And he said, it was great getting to talk to you at Dover, Danny. It was fun seeing myself in your vlog. Sorry, Alex Bowman didn't win, but hope y'all had a good time. I did have a good time, Will. Thanks for meeting up with us at the Tweet Up, and thanks for agreeing to be part of it. It was kind of nice. Actually, I did something a little bit different for this one. Actually included a few people I ran into. I got to meet Will, Rowdy 8 Diecast. I met East Coast Racing Network. Got to chat with him during the vlog, and ran into our old buddy Smoke Carbon and over by Alex Bowman's hauler, and we were talking about, does Bowman have a good shot to win the race? And then I was kind of more jokingly saying, I said, the streets are saying, people are saying Alex Bowman is going to win this race. I turned the camera back on me and I said, I'm people. And then all enough right after that, Alex actually walked out of the hauler. And so I turned the camera at him and said, there's the race winner right there, right? And he's like, yeah, I hope so.
Gosh.
That was a pretty fun interaction with me and Smoke Carbon. Good to see him along with every other person we got to meet at Dover this weekend. Next one's going to pain me to say this, but it's Hunter Nixon Fishing, and always love hearing from him. Appreciate it, $9.99. One more thing, Danny, because you're my boy and we are getting close. Go Dogs. Week 3, Neyland Stadium. It's going to be a fun one. Not sure what's going on with our team. We got Boo Carter disappearing off the face of the earth. New quarterback, but a new quarterback for experience. Their quarterback's going to have like 3 games total, and one of those was a pretty bad loss to Notre Dame. So we'll see. Going to really have to bring the Neyland energy in that one. Alex Luff,
that's the same day as so you'll be able to watch that, and if it goes well for you, go right on into watching the Bristol night race,
or maybe watch Bristol sooner, depending on what happens.
Well, it starts at 2:30, and I think Bristol starts at 7:30. So
sounds like things are a little rocky, and
you're gonna have to watch. Yeah, you're gonna have to watch it.
Yeah. Alex Luff, appreciate the $2. RIP 1960 NASCAR Cup champion Rex White.
Yeah.
Avatar Cora, appreciate the $1.99. If it's a name like that, what's your off prediction for what they said?
I have a feeling I stand with 2311.
Yeah, I'm betting they're standing with 2311.
Boo KHNAB. Hashtag the Avatar stands of 2311 and the people.
And the people.
The people.
I love how creative they're getting with this. Lawson Murphy, appreciate the $4.99. Honestly, wouldn't count out Bowman at Iowa because he had the fastest laps after starting 33rd. Fair point.
I keep forgetting about Iowa, to be honest, but it's coming up.
Yeah. Calypso, appreciate the $1.99. Booking my tickets for San Diego. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, please don't.
Hey, but it's a road course, Calypso. Did you forget about that?
It's true. Your one weakness.
GN NASCAR fan 24, appreciate the $10 from you. I disagree with Eric on the trucks in San Diego. The Truck Series was founded in California by Southwest off-roaders who pitched the Truck Series to Bill Jr. They should absolutely have a West Coast presence. That is true. It originally was founded to be a West Coast-based series.
I guess I didn't think about that. You can sell that then.
But the difference of the economy in the 90s versus 2025 is huge.
And everyone being in North Carolina now instead of the West Coast.
That's the thing, is if the teams were still based out there or wherever, I don't know. Then but that's the tough part. But like I said, the history, the roots are there. So you can sell that to me. I just don't know that it makes logistical sense. We'll see.
Andrew Winslow, appreciate the $5. Alan Gustafson is the lol cow of the month. As punishment, he has to attend a Coldplay concert with Kyle Larson's wife.
Ugh. Why are we punishing Kyle Larson's wife too?
Yeah, true. Darth Newton, appreciate the $4.99. Can we have the All-Star race at Rockingham Speedway? That would be a good idea. Close to Charlotte.
One day.
That would actually be a good way to test Cup Series at Rockingham before we go any further with it.
Well, yeah, of course.
Chris Furrow, appreciate the $5 from you. Do you think Hendrick Motorsports with 3 drivers in the top 3 in points, or JGR with multiple 3-win drivers is better positioned to win a championship this year? Neither, because Penske exists in the playoffs.
I mean, that's true, but I think I actually like. So right now, if I was picking a champion today, and this is probably prisoner of the moment, he just won a race, I would probably say Denny Hamlin. Honestly,
it really feels like this is Denny's year, or else he's never going to get it.
I'm not falling for that trap again.
I'm just alive. It's so wide open this year compared to even last year, frankly, when it felt like Larson was kind of able to turn it up at will. I don't think he is right now capable of doing that. So that's where I feel like it's very open. And, you know, Byron's been to back-to-back championship fours, so he's got a good shot, but he's also hasn't won a race since Daytona. Hamlin hasn't been to the championship four in a couple of years, but he's got the most wins. Bell is kind of that in-betweener. Larson's in the between. I don't know. I think Chase Briscoe could be an interesting dark horse.
I mean, I want to kind of look really quick if I can pull it up at Bell, because since those wins,
he's been inconsistent, but he did just lead 60 laps.
Wasn't that the first race he's like actually led substantial laps in since then, roughly?
Yeah, it's been a while.
25 at Martinsville, and then from there until this past week, he didn't lead more than 5 laps in a race since April.
Yeah, no, it'd been a while, but he still had a lot of really good finishes. Again, he's 100. What did we say? 130 points ahead of Bubble or whatever it is.
Something like out of Bubba Wallace.
Yeah.
Add 16 to whatever we said earlier.
All right. West Virginia, appreciate the generous $19.99 from you. And guys, West Virginia is actually admitting something to us. This is actually a burner account for somebody very famous. We never knew this until right now. Hi guys, Jimmy Johnson here. We decided to not hire Daniel Suarez as CEO of our new car. That's if we can field a third car. But Vice President of Legal Affairs has assured me that Rick Ware Racing will be destroyed by season's end. Jimmy Johnson.
That's funny. I like that one.
The creativity is great.
And I had to set that up as good as I could. Jupiter Rain, appreciate the $2 from you. And I think this is talking about the Sirius XM incident and all those people. Can't wait to see a 180 from them if the format does change.
That's true. Yeah, then there'll be, yeah, that's a good point. That will be interesting to watch.
What's the Family Guy skit where I don't want to get into the details, but when Peter Griffin convinces everyone to go to war with Iraq, and then the Dick Cheney one at the end was like, I was the first one that wanted to go to war. That's like what I was the first one that wanted to get rid of the playoffs.
Is that the Petopia episode where he makes his own country?
It's more like one of those side segments, I think, but I think it might be a little too controversial to get into all the details of it on the show, so we're not going to do that. But it's a funny segment.
It's been 20 years. Think about that. 05 is 20 years ago.
If you know it, you know it. We'll just leave it like that. Alex Luff, appreciate the $5. I got an idea. Winston Cup format, but with the current point system, with first place gets 40 points and 40 if gets 1 point.
Add more points to the winners, and I'm down. I mean, I'd be down in general, but I think the winners should get more points.
You need some bonus points if you win, I think.
Yep, I agree.
I think no matter what they do, the winner should always score the most points. Even if they luck into it, it's a win. I think that's been the answer all along. More points for the winner.
Because you could technically finish second, get 39 points. You lead a lap, you get 1 point. You lead the most laps, get 5 points.
I mean, I've been down with the stage points and stuff, but I mean, the stages is like somebody who's like what 16th or 15th could score more than the winner.
Yeah,
I don't like that. Score more than everyone else, just not the winner.
I stand at 2311. Appreciate the 99 cents. That's it. 100X and Fishing. Appreciate the 99 from you again. Ryan Blaney. Under the old format, you could have a driver win 8 races and still lose the championship. Probably referring to the old driver number 12, also named Ryan Newman. Kevin Harvick in 2020. Check this out. You're never going to believe this.
That's funny.
Scrapyard 24C appreciated $10 with the Savannah Bananas sponsoring Matt DiBenedetto this weekend and the Speedway Classic next month. Who else thinks the Bananas should be invited to play at Bristol? Not necessarily that they should be invited. It's that Bristol should have been on this a long time ago to give them, because it's not that they would invite them. It's would they want to go there, because the Savannah Bananas sell out wherever they go. The Savannah Bananas for a game actually in Savannah have a huge waiting list. It's like a lottery system to even get a ticket to one of their games. They are insanely popular.
That's
crazy. But at the same time, I don't think the MLB wants to partner with them.
That's an interesting idea. I'm not sure how Major League Baseball
because they're kind of taking away from what they're doing.
Yeah, one could view though that they're introducing a new younger audience to baseball or something that's baseball adjacent. You could look at it that way, or yes, you could look at it as them siphoning viewership away from actual baseball.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I would wonder what Rob Manfred actually thinks of the Savannah Bananas.
Because my mom, grew up liking some baseball. She liked the Cincinnati Reds but she's really grown. She watches like every game of the Savannah Bananas. It's free to watch on YouTube, and she loves that. She doesn't pay for cable or anything. She loves that she can tune into them and have some kind of fun sport she can enjoy. And I've watched a few games. They're fun. It's just fun baseball.
Yeah.
Justin Drake, appreciate the generous $19.99 from you. Prediction: Bowman has to push another teammate to a win before he wins again. He's already did that at Atlanta, dang it.
Nope, he's got to pay his dues once again, Danny. Another week.
Granted, Briscoe wasn't a teammate this weekend, but my God, Bowman loves cosplaying Cal Naughton Jr. My day is ruined. Andrew Winslow, appreciate you being a member of Danny B Superfans for 4 months. And this is, gotta say this in the right voice. Sharon, why is TNT playing my song?
Someone got in my beer, my room, took my beer. I think I showed you guys that clip a few weeks ago.
I saw the clip of him doing the take me out to the ball game on Twitter a few times this week.
That and the I like the one where he's making chicken. I think he has like his cat's there, and he goes, "Don't you take my chicken, or I'll effing kill you."
God,
he's like, "That's my chicken."
Appreciate the $1.99 from this weekend's Grand Marshal, Cookie Monster. Me no eat vegetables. Hashtag me stand at 2311.
I knew it was coming, and it's still funny.
Milton Valenzuela Jr., appreciate the $5 from you. Any advice for NASCAR fans like me who have grown disinterested in the sport with all that's gone on this year? Well, I can't say I blame you. It really, even for me, it gets a little hard at times. It really, truthfully does at times. Some of the bull crap with the whole court ordeals and stuff, and all the BS behind the scenes, it really does get old. It really does.
Well, that's always, if they're talking about the lawsuit, my thing would just be to become a really huge Tyler Reddick or Bubba Wallace fan and be like, every time, or even Denny, every time they win, it's like that's sticking it to them and showing NASCAR how important, how relevant they are to the business. It's one way to look at it if you want to watch out of spite, but otherwise it's a lot. It is a lot.
Something that does help, try to find a driver that you relate to the most. Get a favorite driver if you don't have one, so that you at least have somebody in the field that you're rooting for. Like it could be one of those people that Eric just mentioned. It helps me that, even though try to stay neutral to an extent, I do have one car that I'm somewhat wanting to see. How does that one do? It helps me still stay into it, even when I'm feeling a little down.
Sorry, my dad sent me a text of an Aussie quote.
Oh, wow.
The Bubbles one.
Napa Racing Fan 927. Appreciate the $5 from you. Eric, Guitar Hero 1 had Bark at the Moon and Iron Man. Guitar Hero 2 had War Pigs. Guitar Hero 3 had Paranoid. World Tour had Crazy Train and Mr. Crowley with Ozzy as a playable character.
I remember the really awkward Uncanny Valley 3D animated Ozzy Osbourne with Wii graphics was unsettling, but good times.
Napa Racing Fan 927. Appreciate the $5 from you. I can respect Larry and Trotta loving the playoffs, but not talking down on playoffs haters. We playoff haters are not bots. We don't like Mickey champs. Yeah, I think we all kind of agreed on that. It's okay to disagree on playoffs or no playoffs, but don't talk down to people just because their opinions are different from what you and NASCAR want them to be. Cavs fan 45, appreciate the $1.99. It's Chase Peaches Elliott.
Yeah, that's the call sign. That video was so badass.
Yeah, that was really good.
What would ours be? Like we have
I think we know what Danny's would be. Ball buster.
Yeah. Danny is now been ball buster.
That or it's something like freight train or something like that.
Yeah. Jared, yours would just be iceberg.
Yeah, I guess.
That would just work.
So what would yours be? Groovy?
Groovy. Tall dumbass.
Well, I mean, it has to be one word.
Quit reading your hate comments on air, Eric. That's not good for you.
Sorry, you're right.
Or Braden Bunch says, Jarrett, ice. Just call me ice.
Keep it simple. Yeah, I mean, stuff's happening fast when you're in the air, so you gotta just keep it quick.
I'd rather have freight train than ball buster. In all honesty,
I don't blame you, but
unfortunately,
you don't make the rules.
if I'm flying like a B2 that's got a bunker buster, then sure I'll be ball buster then. But
we got ball buster, ice, and groovy.
This is ball buster. I'm coming out the bunker buster now.
Ice coming in on the side. Groovy, you got me.
Over.
You got me, Groovy.
What? What are they selling?
we need to find some kind of like multiplayer fighter jet game and do that just for the fun of it now.
Dogfight.
Honestly, that would
over
be fun.
NWP pick points.
Santa Claus, father.
I shouldn't be laughing that hard. Immediately.
Here comes the giant fist.
No.
Santa Claus, Father Christmas. Appreciate the $1.99. Chicago is why Bowman is on the naughty list. Hashtag Santa stands with 2311.
Why does no one stand with front row? They're in the lawsuit.
You're scaring him.
Yeah, front row is being very neglected in all of this, in all honesty.
They'll eat their sorrows away with Taco Bell.
They should do better than being 25th in points.
Ooh, got him.
Ooh, their cars are outside the top 30 in points. I saw it today. What's happened to Todd Gilliland?
Speedway Anywhere. Appreciate the $5. By the way, Jarrett, your perspectives keep showing me why you're a Vikings fan like me. Keep the hope and disgust alive.
You're welcome.
Will Griffin, appreciate the $5. We need to get Iceberg to Dover / Pocono, Danny to Pocono, and Eric to Dover. By the way, there's going to be a Canes car. There's going to be a Canes at Dover. We know he loved him some Canes. I didn't know there was going to be a Canes up there. I didn't see any location under construction, but that's good to know.
Quick, Danny, when you least expect them. I hadn't had Canes in a while, and then it was a late night the other night, friend's birthday party. I found myself a little tipsy at a Canes at 1 a.m, right before close. God bless those Canes workers, true frontline soldiers. God bless them. I slapped so hard.
I wish we got some tipsy text from Eric now.
So I'm going to say something. I have to just be honest with myself. So a few weeks ago when I was in North Carolina, I tried Bojangles again because people told me that I was too hard on them last year.
Here we go.
And so I tried Bojangles. It was okay. It was fine. I'm sorry. You North Carolinians, it's sad out there, man. There's so much better fried chicken in the world. I mean, Hattie B's is maybe the best in the business. Raising Cane's, okay, it's not the most seasoned. That shit slaps so hard on an empty stomach after a long day. The sauce is God-given. Bojangles got nothing on Cane's, Hattie B's, Slim Chickens. Oh, God. Even
Homemade.
Popeyes. I mean, I haven't had Church's chicken out here. I hear it's good. I'm sorry, North Carolina. You guys got some great barbecue. You guys have some very good food. The fried chicken, you got to get out. You got to get out more. I hope Cane's comes to your neighborhood. I hope Hattie B somehow makes it out there. I'm just going to be honest.
Eric, off-season content. You need to come out to Nashville with me for like a week in the off-season, and we'll just go try different fried chicken places, and you can review your favorites.
Sounds good to me. Zaxby's is okay too. I'm just saying, like Bojangles, I want to like it, and I still need to order more off the menu. It's bottom of the barrel. The biscuits are good, and that's it. I have to be honest.
Because my town is perfect. You can have your choices of fried chicken.
You got a lot
in
of chicken
town.
in Tennessee.
This whole
nice.
area,
just this town.
yeah, this whole area is just chicken and Mexican restaurants.
Yes.
That makes me a little nervous.
I will say there are some really good sushi places out here too. Pizza's not good though.
Oh,
Yeah. You go to Tailgate for pizza. That's about it.
all right. I had to get that off my chest. The other night when I was a little drunk eating my Canes, it just hit me. I'm like, I can't lie to myself anymore. Bojangles is just not hit.
I've got to come clean on DannyBTalks at 10:16 p.m. I've got to get this off my chest.
I just have to, man. I'm getting delirious thinking about it.
Zardy, appreciate the $2 from you. Isn't Jesse Love and Connor so adorable together? They really do have the best bromance in all of NASCAR currently.
Yeah.
They are exactly what we remember a few years ago of Ryan Blaney and Bubba Wallace to be.
That's a good comparison.
They've both matured and have families now, but
Laugh at the comment.
I see it.
No, not doing that.
oh gosh, no, you know what? That is good enough. That is getting pinned.
Oh, please no. Oh no.
And I also need to end that poll. Which one do you guys prefer? You prefer the Winston Cup. Yep. All right. Alex Left, appreciate the $10. I know it's old news, but when I heard that Aaron Rodgers signed for my Pittsburgh Steelers, I was more ticked off than Scott Steiner in that he's fat clip in TNA because he's old.
He's old.
Bald. He's not bald, but he's old.
Crazy.
Old.
Crazy.
Watch, Steelers will still be better than my Titans with an old man. Like their whole roster this year is old. Have you guys seen all the players that they have in the Steelers this year? It's all just
They
past their
signed
prime veterans.
TJ Watt to a big extension that he might be worth for like another year or two.
Well, that's what happens when Aaron Rodgers goes to, we saw it with the Jets, when he goes to an organization, he tries to control everything and he runs it into the freaking ground.
Like I wasn't necessarily a big like Shador Sanders fan, and he dropped very, very far. But Steelers, y'all needed something. You should have just gave him a shot. I mean, I don't know what they were doing.
What happened to the? Oh no, he went somewhere else. Never mind.
Indy Carson 2025. Appreciate the 499 from you. Thanks NWP. Thanks NWP guys for explaining my comment. I will not comment again unless you're live, since it's easier when you're live to ask questions. Fair point. And I think this is the last one of the night. Cody Gordon, appreciate the $5 from you. I'm going to the Southern 500 this year. It's going to be a long drive, but I hope it'll be a great race for my first trip to Darlington. Enjoy it. We were there in 2023 with the podcast party bus. That's not the last one. But yeah, we were there a couple of years ago with the podcast party bus, and it was a great time when we were there. Eric, have you gone any other time before that one, or is that your only time?
I've been to a couple. I went to 21 Southern 500. I've been to, that's the only Southern 500 I think I went to was 2021, but I've been to 2 of the spring races.
Gotcha. And Last Hope, appreciate the $2. He has now even lost the shaman.
Referring to Aaron Rodgers, probably.
I guess so. Yeah. Somehow I thought this was another thing related to the Boo Bowman thing. Somehow I was a little
The
confused.
shaman stands with 2311.
Yep, Shaman stands at 2011. Please do not make another account to do that. We're about to end the show. That's it for tonight. Hope you guys had a great time. Great show. Glad to be back from Dover. Go check out the vlog if you haven't. It's really good. Really had a good time editing this one. It has a good flow to it, in my opinion. So go check it out if you haven't. And we'll see you next week over on Eric's channel. It's going to be a good time. Wednesday, July 30th, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And I guess let's go get Bojangles.
Started off right now. Right on, come on.
Get outside. Three wide.
Unbelievable.
Where you playing? We're going. I like the aggression. We probably dropped a great car. You can go to all this guys up there. They can suck it.
What we're about to do is not a good idea.
All good. What is he doing? You gotta be kidding me.
Half the pack is flying apart.
It's so nice to see you at the line.
Oh, pack of cars come piling in as well.
Jump. Coming white. Hello. Come back, caught him.
That was incredible.